Hello and welcome again. Welcome to the Digital Homicides Streamcast number 42. We're gonna rant a little bit today, I guess, and talk about other news and stuff and things. And yeah, with me, as always, it's Lothar. So let me bring Lothar up here. Hi, Lothar.
Hi Triton. Hi everyone.
Okay, now let me see. Now I need to fix my camera. Okay, that already does not work too well. I need to get rid of... Oh, wait, this is... Wait, why is that not working? Ah! Wait a second. Oh, okay, my bad. Okay, that's where it is. um, yeah, I just transmitted audio, so that doesn't work.
This is I can see partially myself and that's it. Just a shoulder.
Yeah. I need to... This here and this here. I cropped it on my end already, but I... What? Oh, yeah, right. Oh! There's the Lothar. Okay. There we go. Okay, and this, and that should work now. It doesn't... Wait, actually? Wait a second. When I deactivate this here now... Yeah, sorry, everybody. I had some issues that my scenes were gone for some reason. I have no idea. Are not gone, but I cannot access them anymore. OBS is kind of acting up on my stream PC, so that's the reason why. Alright, so let me bring myself in here. Ah! Hi, everybody. And Lothar is too small. Wait. The Lothar is too small. Wait.
I can't be small, I'm big.
I should myself up a little bit. This and you as well. I have no delay. Holy shit. Okay, that... I fixed something.
Good job.
Yeah, I really have no delay in between switching OBS scene on my game PC and it shows up right away on my stream PC. That's good. Okay, now let me see if I can actually deactivate this here. Yeah. Well, I can only show browser. So I wanted to show the Xbox app, but
Yeah, looks like we're going to show it through Google.
Yep, that's it. So let's do that. Let's start with that right away.
Yeah. By the way, difficult topic. It's not because it's going to be heavy politically. It is, but it's because we kind of have no idea what we're going to talk about.
Exactly. So we just go with some stuff. So, Lothar.
Well, not just some stuff. I actually wanted to talk about Atomic Heart since I finished it, and I finished it like a bit more than a month ago.
Okay, that doesn't work. Wait a second. That did not work.
Full screen completely broken.
Yeah, that didn't work. Anyway. So yeah, Atomic Heart. Let me say a few good things about it before you rip it a new one.
I also have a couple of good things to say about this game. It's not like I'm going to just shit on it.
Alright, it does have a demo, that's pretty cool. So apparently that game was shown a few years ago and was more, well, a look into the future, what they wanted to do as a game, and people were interested enough to say, yeah, when is the game coming? And they made a game. It's their first game, as far as I know.
Yes, it is their first game, and what their alternative look at the future appear to be just alternate history.
Yeah, pretty much. But what I wanted to say is it looks really, really good, and
Yeah.
it runs as smooth as butter. Maxed out, I get 90 FPS or something like that. It's insane on day one. Without any hotfixes, patches, or bullshit. No, right out of the box, this game had absolutely insane performance. So
Yeah.
yeah, well, on the recommended cards, it definitely I saw nothing about performance issues on the recommended cards, which is 2070, my card, and RX 6700 from AMD. So anything below, yeah, you have to reduce stuff, but
I have 8 GB of VRAM and I played on medium settings. So yeah, it looked good even on medium settings, but it had performance issues.
what card is that?
5500, I think.
Yeah, so that's a bit lower than recommended. So yeah, you have
Yes,
to.
but it's 8 GB and not 4. And it used like 5 or 6.
Yeah, I mean the RAM is one thing that is important, but well,
I'm talking about VRAM.
yeah,
VRAM.
I know,
Might have 8.
I know. Yeah, but that alone doesn't help you with the performance. So
True.
yeah, but for the recommended system, you can completely max it out if you have a 2070, and
Oh.
that's
So
something a lot of games need a
recommended
3070 also.
they put for maximum performance fit graphics.
Yeah, for best graphics, I guess. Yeah,
Huh.
that's
That's
normally.
new.
Nah, that's normally what developers do. For the
Yeah.
best look and the best performance, they recommend one setup. And if you have that setup, you should be able to max out a game. If you're lower than that, you might have to reduce resolution or some effects or something. But I run that game absolutely fine with everything active.
Mhm.
So
So yeah, you have in positive only how it looks, or something else.
no, it's what I really liked is it's kinda like BioShock 4, because it's also a bit going in that direction, their own
Yeah,
society
you
and
can see that
stuff like that.
they were really inspired by BioShock.
Yeah. I'm
But
just
I'd
checking.
say that they kind of gone into what the name? System Shock.
Yeah, yeah.
I'd say that they kinda
It's
gone with BioShock aesthetics, but they were mostly inspired by System Shock, specifically with item management and stuff like that.
yeah, and also the AI that is controlling stuff, but it's kind of dystopia where you have one guy who wants to rule over everything. So kind of like what's his face, Ryan in BioShock, in the first one, at least the first one. Although
Yeah,
this
but
is a bit more like um, Infinite, the flying cities,
yeah,
because you also have
I
that.
get what you're talking about. Flying cities aesthetics.
Yeah. All right.
Most of the time, you're in the labs.
Yeah, true, but you're not on landmass. You're basically flying around.
Yeah. So, because we're starting with the positives, I'm going to start with positive as well. I did like several scenes in the game. Like they were made so much perfect, and I was like, mwah.
Yeah, that's true.
When I saw one particular scene, I was like, That's it. That scene alone made my whole purchase of Game Pass is paid for itself. That's it. That's the peak of the storytelling that game can afford. That's the peak that they can show me. That's the peak of my enjoyment that I can get from this game. That's it. It could not top itself possibly, and if they repeat this scene, it would be wasted. They repeated that scene.
Okay.
Yeah.
What scene? A scene from the beginning or something?
No. Beginning is the weakest scene. It's the bad title drop, and so Major Nichayev. I was like, who's that man? Why should I believe that this man is a secret agent?
Yeah, continue.
Well,
I'm
that's
listening.
basically it.
Okay.
He too, how should I put it? On the style to be veteran of the war and agent of Secret Service.
Mm. Shit, how long did I play that game? Where do I see that? That's the one thing in Game Pass that is a bit annoying. No?
Yeah, I don't like that thing either. But, well, Game Pass working surprisingly fine for me. Yes, for me it's surprisingly fine.
Well, that's good. Oh, I think it was in the achievements. Yeah. When you go to the achievements, then it shows you playtime. I played it for 6 hours. Well, basically 5.5 or so, because breaks and stuff. So 5.5 hours into the game. What what I what I what I didn't really like also early on, stealth is kinda pointless because you're relatively slow and those bots, they recognize you before you get to them normally. So that I
Yeah,
did
I
not
know what you're
like.
talking about. That's specifically what I thought. That's why I when I read stuff like mandatory stealth and it's kind of pointless to kill everything in the pseudo open world. But I was like, dude, I have a shotgun. I have a big pointy stick that I can smack stuff. I can use mass telekinesis and lightning. I'm basically will not use stealth because even if it's mandatory, it's not game like Metal Gear or Splinter Cell.
Hmm.
I don't need to be stealth. I can go as loud as I want. And I did.
It depends in what area you are. There's something that is like not a library but some warehouse or so. And if you're too loud and don't get rid of those drones, they will respawn robots over and over and over again. So
They will respawn whatever you do. So yeah. It's basically pointless. It's much easier to start the fight in a factory, laboratory, or whatnot, and just kill whatever can respawn your enemies. Because it's totally possible in a closed environment. It's completely impossible in pseudo open world. So yeah, in laboratory you can just start the fight and win, but not uh, okay, I'm already jumping to one point when I started with dit motherfucker with stylish hair and whatnot. Can you bring a picture of a big boss on the screen? Either one I said and you're just some random.
uh, yeah, I can't not because
Yeah, okay, we are
Oh wait, oh
You.
wait, I can copy that. Wait a second, I can.
Uh,
Aha! This here.
oh, this one looks like a war veteran.
Yeah.
And compared to the guy that we saw, come on, it's night and day. No matter how good I will talk about Russia and whatnot, this character design is dog shit.
I don't remember that guy. But that's also kinda. Or you mean yourself, the character that you play? Who do you mean now?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, okay. Yeah. Well, I mean, not every war veteran has injuries that makes him look like he was at war. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But
I know what you mean, but
a lot of people disliked the character and his responses and stuff. I didn't expect
I did.
to play a good person. I expected to play an asshole, and he is an asshole.
He is an asshole, but he's not a soldier. He's not acting like soldier. When he's talking, you can basically say that he's a spoiled piece of shit, like some sort of kid who owned it all.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, maybe.
He's not a military man, specifically not a Secret Service man. He's not talk like one, he's not act like one. The only veteran in this scenario is the player. That's it.
I really didn't think too much about him being a veteran or anything. It was maybe weird at the beginning, but I really didn't care too much about that.
Yeah, and that's the problem. He's sold as a veteran who was in World War II and participated in some secret services for USSR. But you don't get the feeling.
Yeah,
You don't get the feeling when you're playing as him.
Overthinking. I
Maybe,
mean,
but it's still
in
stuff
reality,
that.
In reality, you had I don't remember her name, but there's a game that depicted her life basically. a British spy, and she was a female. Also, not really a typical veteran and spy, and you know. So
she is a spy. That's the different kind of story, and he is a secret service.
yeah, but still. So
He's the one who fought specifically.
So what?
So my main point about the protagonist that he's badly written and badly designed.
Yeah, maybe.
That's it. That's how I got a summary of all my problems with him.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, might be. Yeah. I mean, most people were not really too happy about that guy, I think, but...
Okay. And some dialogues were written really badly. There is a dialogue in the start of the game when you're talking with your...
With the hand thingy?
Yeah. Companion.
Oh.
And it's basically like... turned on the radio to listen to the music. And his glow thing starting to talk with him like blah 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 and whatever.
Yeah.
And he was like, "Shut up! I'm trying to listen here." What are you trying to listen here? I never been here. I'm enjoying the view. I'm trying to give you an exposition. Piss off! I'm enjoying the view. I never been here.
Yeah, there was some weird stuff at the beginning, and also when you listened to somebody and you moved too far, you triggered another audio line, or you got a radio talk from your companion, and it cut off a cutscene voiceover or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
That happened several times, and then I was like, okay, when I did something, I wait. I take it slow. I don't move like 5 meters away, or otherwise I might trigger something and the voiceover just stops, and then you're missing story. So that was shit, and that's also something that in the magazine that I buy every month, they also complained about that. Yeah, if you were unlucky, where you got cut off audio, and that's just shouldn't
Yeah,
be.
and specifically because you can learn that with some crucial dialogues, it kinda bad.
Yeah, that's
Specifically that you can't replay or see the summary
yeah.
or some sort of log.
Exactly, that's completely missing. Something like a log. I wanted that at one point, where I was like, what did they say again? Where do I have to go? Or what do I have to do? It was a bit, yeah, I don't know. But, well, again, it's their first game, and for that, they did a pretty good job for the most part. Some fights are kinda shit, because, well, I had two situations where, I just got stuck in the level while
Oh yeah,
moving
yeah, yeah. It
backwards.
happened.
Couldn't get out of a freaking corner, no matter what I did, and I had to do that 3 or 4 times to actually. I had to figure out how to get from the spawn point to the other side, basically, not from the spawn in the other directions. I had to get through the robots and fight them from the other side or something like that. It was where those in those tunnels where those round things were.
Okay, I get
Where you have
it. I
to
get what you're talking about.
duck or dodge away from those, and there was one part where you had to fight like 4 or 5, and I think one of those next level robots. Yeah, that was not fun. The position was really shit. Okay, continue.
Okay, next thing. I actually liked combat, but as you said, you can get easily stuck on the terrain.
Yeah,
And it's not in the one particular area. That things happen regularly.
yeah, and you can barely jump. So
You can barely jump, and sometimes some attacks of the enemies go. Well, not just attacks. Some enemies go through some prompts.
yeah,
I had a enemy who made a leap attack. I had a big tube that higher than the character in front of me. But that thing that attacked me, he passed right through that tube and hit me.
yeah, yeah. I had a situation like that as well. I don't remember exactly, but yeah, basically didn't care that there was level architecture or model or something. You couldn't pass, but they could.
Yeah,
So
and
maybe it's a feature, not a bug.
yeah, and if in game in Souls, like specifically with Dark Souls, Elden Ring, and Sekiro, when enemies could hit through the wall, but you as well. That can be done only by some particular attacks, and not all of the enemies. So that can be done only by one enemy, and you fighting him in a specific arena, and you must kill it.
Yeah, there are some bad design choices. Let's call them design choices.
Yeah, that's definitely a shitty design choice. Also, that Babazina that people were like, oh, Babazina! She barely in the game.
Yeah, I
She
know.
barely a character.
Yeah.
I saw her 3 times.
Okay.
First meeting, when she show us that she not just some random character, and in the end game.
Okay. How long
And I
did it...
had two conversations with her outside of those 3 meetings.
How long did it take you to finish the game?
Uh, I think somewhere around 18 or 20 hours. I played on the hardest difficulty, and I barely died.
Yeah, I played on the highest difficulty as well. I did die a few times. Mostly because getting stuck somewhere and no way to go anywhere, just getting 3 robots in your fucking face, and you can only dodge so much. Or, well, the dodge is kind of weird.
Oh yeah,
It's
dodge is weird.
needs to get
Oh,
You need to get used to that. It's kind of strange, but you do see the robots when they will do their power attacks. So, but still,
30 and a half hours.
30.
Yeah,
Okay.
I basically finished every optional dungeon.
Yeah, it says 34 hours completion list for everything. So yeah, okay.
I didn't made it in as completionist, and I can say for sure that some achievements are bugged, because I got some achievements that I shouldn't get by triggering the first objective into getting that achievement, and I didn't get achievements when I finished last that achievement.
But no.
I don't know. We periodically have this flickering.
Yeah, I had Xbox in front.
Oh yeah, okay.
But it only shows on my end. So maybe Discord was like, wait a second, there's a window I need to show.
So, oh yeah, this game, in general, it's not available on Steam for me or people from CIS.
That's kind of weird.
Yeah, but also CIS can't get this game on the Game Pass.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense when you don't have it in that one, that you have it in the other. But the
I
developer...
changed my region for the store to
Ah,
Poland.
okay.
I downloaded it by changing to Poland.
But the developer is Russian, right?
Yes, developer is Russian, but because of some events of the last year, high management suddenly became Cyprus, and Russian main studio became others.
Uh-huh.
Well, they mentioned that Polish, Ukrainian, Belarusians, Yugoslavians, and what not worked on that game. Became others, while that others is the main studio.
Okay. Weird.
So yeah, when it comes to Mountfish, Karikish, but it's not like the old cat when they close the studio and move all of their production to Cyprus.
But yeah.
It's still bad, but it's not as bad.
But still strange, you have a Russian studio and the Russians cannot buy it.
We can buy it, but only in specific store.
Yeah.
And that's the only store who did not report good sales for this game.
Okay.
And it sold this game overpriced for Russian store. They basically looked at how Activision and Electronic Arts pricing games for Russia on Steam. Specifically, I'm saying it on Steam. And decided to put the same pricing on their nobody want to touch platform without games.
It's on sale, by the way.
It's on sale there as well, but when it comes to VK Play, don't buy it. Use Game Pass and play this.
Yeah, definitely.
Buy it on Steam if you can, but don't buy it on VK Play. VK Play is dog shit and should die faster than Epic Store.
Yeah, well, that's the Russian store you showed me once, right?
Yeah,
so I cannot
that's
use it
the
anyway.
store. That's the store that have all of the Steam trash that used to pass green light with giveaways and all, and they sell on Steam only because of those trading cards. Well, there are some purchases that genuine and some, but that's nowhere near the auditory they want to build. Specifically, nowhere near auditory who they want to get in. People who would want to play something more than Atomic Hearts or outdated. What was that? Pathfinder, Path of the Righteous, without any of the DLCs. Okay, how this game is accessible here? I said as well. Writing also. Okay, let's just continue with some general areas, and then I'm going to the biggest complaints about this game that I have. Ending. Ending is dog shit.
Yeah.
This game has 2 endings.
Okay.
One,
no spoilers.
Yeah, I'm not going to spoil it. One is that's it, and the second is that's it. That's piece of shit.
Okay. Huh.
Yeah. So basically, the game ends. The game ends with stuff like why it ended like this.
Yeah, I think I read something like it should have gotten maybe 2 hours more to really finish it off.
Even if you give it 2 hours more, with the main twist of the game, it doesn't work. Ending don't work, period, no matter how much time you're going to give it. Only if by making some additional content you'll get an alternative ending to some of the endings that you got. But no. Ending in general doesn't work. And that's it.
Yeah, that sucks even more when you play a game for 30 hours and then you're at the end and you're like, okay, that's why I did all that.
I'm still enjoyed my experience with it. And as I said, one specific scene, somewhere around 16 or 18 hours made the whole game for me.
Okay.
So it wasn't like I was completely disappointed. I was already past the high point, and I knew that everything else was going to be sort of low points or lower than stuff that I experienced.
Okay. Yeah.
So
then I
yeah.
should continue that maybe.
Yeah, definitely. But even if it looks like brute force ain't going to work, it will. Trust me, brute force is going to work.
Okay.
You can even kill enough workers on the open world that game will just screw that. I'm not going to respawn that particular group of enemy for at least 5 minutes. Do whatever you want. But they will be respawned anyways.
What I really liked was the upgrade machine or robot or whatever you want to call that.
Oh yeah, Eleanor.
Yeah, that naughty thing. That's so fucking hilarious. I had some really good laughs with that. That was actually her writing was pretty awesome. I
Yeah,
really
but
like that.
problem is she have with you like horny thing maybe 6 interactions. All of the other styles she would be like, give me materials, upgrades completed, upgrades making. That's
Yeah,
it.
yeah, okay, that might be. I had
So she is
I had that once or
basically
twice already.
wasted.
Hmm.
And her naughtiness have not just story arc, it doesn't have finish.
Hmm.
Last time when you see her, you're like, killing is bad. And you're doing it like 4 times before that.
Hmm. Okay, yeah, that's sad.
Yeah.
I wanted to marry her. Wait a second.
So yeah, she's just horny for no reason. It basically like we have a horny refrigerator. Deal with it.
Yeah, for
Okay.
me, it's a bit like the cursed chests in Dead Cells. You know,
Oh,
you
fuck
want.
me. Would if it would be like cursed chest, like, hey, you can use this vending machine that ain't cursed, or you can use this piece of shit. That kinda curse that can you give a big debuff, but also reward is really worth it. But no.
I mean, I meant it more like
Yeah, okay,
the naughty stuff is fun but yeah, if it might have been too much maybe, or I don't know. Because the curse chest always says the same stuff in Dead Cells. It's still funny. I mean, I read it like 20 times or so just to read it on stream because it's, oh, you want to hurt me. And it's just funny, I don't know. And that was kind of one of the first associations I had with that machine
oh yeah, okay, I get
because
it.
because of that, you know.
Yeah, okay, I get it. I basically thought about it as from a risk-reward situation,
Mm.
and not how it's written.
So yeah, that was definitely funny.
Yeah, in a way, but still, it's kind of wasted.
Yeah, that's kind of sad.
Oh, game have had also Futurama reference.
Hmm.
I'm not going to go in complete details, but in one level you could see like that thing made to keep head alive after body died. I was like, oh, if that's going to play in the game, I'm going to be really impressed.
Hmm. Talking about
I'm
future
not impressed.
talking about Futurama, um, in July the 11th, um, um, how do you say that now? Not episodes?
Season.
Season. Season starts after 10 years. They bring it back. It
Oh, come on.
will be
They
on.
had the final season.
Yeah, there were still unanswered questions, and that's what they kind of pick up on. And it comes to Disney Plus, as far as I know. Produced by Hulu, but streamed on Hulu and Disney Plus.
Yeah, I'm not going to watch it on Disney Plus anyway.
I didn't watch the last 2 seasons, I think.
I do
The
remember that I saw the last episode.
the Hulu stuff I had no way to watch because there is no Hulu in Germany, and I'm not using VPN and pay for Hulu just for Futurama.
There is no Disney Plus or Hulu in Russia, but it's not going to stop me.
Yeah, well, Just do it.
Yeah.
Do how you like.
Ah.
Okay, now rip the game a new one. Come on. I'm waiting for the rant.
DLCs. DLCs pure bollocks. Golden weapons? Are you fucking serious? And you
Yeah,
must pay it. How much?
€7.
Uh,
Yeah.
no. The premium edition. 40 euros on top for premium edition.
Yeah. And what do
And
you?
for golden 30? That's fucking overpriced as hell.
Yeah, the base game is already 60, so
And it's fucking golden weaponry.
yeah,
It's not a multiplayer game.
completely
It's
stupid.
It's just a fucking skin.
You see that every few times with your hand. How important is that? Not at all.
Well, I saw my gloves and weapons a bit more often because I
Yeah,
did a lot of shooting because I refused to play stealthy. But
yeah, but
still,
I mean
fuck
this is how it
that.
looks. For what? I mean, 4 golden
Basically,
weapons and
4
but
golden weapons, golden glove, soundtrack, which is
the thing is
not that good,
the
to be
glove
honest.
is one item, so one skin costs €7. The others are 2 skins for 5, which is also way too much. It's just
Yeah.
a color palette, but you also get something. Oh no, okay, no, that doesn't even have any perk on it, so
Nothing.
pretty useless.
It's just cosmetic skin.
And but there's a season pass.
Yeah. Season pass for DLCs that they have no idea what's going to be in them. And I tell you right now, golden weapons are part of that season pass.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, so they planned 4 DLCs now. Half year
Yeah,
ago, it used to be just 3 DLCs. And
They-
what are those DLC going to be? Just give us money?
They added a quote here, but I think they wanted to add an asterisk and an explanation somewhere. But yeah. No, it's just that skin is included in the season pass. Not the
Wait a
weapons.
second.
Just the glove is included in the season pass.
Let me open that store that I said people should
But
avoid and check there.
you cannot actually check what the no, it does show you here. So the gold edition gives you the golden skin and the 4 upcoming DLCs. And the premium edition, shouldn't it be premium and then gold? Never mind. You get the art book, soundtrack, all the other shit. No, actually the soundtrack is not included. No, the soundtrack is not even included. Wait, is it? Ne, soundtrack is not included.
Yeah. They reworked it because it used to be season pass used to include all golden weapons and some DLCs. Right now,
Sucks.
3 DLCs. Right now it's 4 DLCs even in a Russian store. And 1 skin for the glove.
So basically, when you get the gold edition, you save $10 to the season pass alone.
Pricing is dog shit.
And the 2 weapon skins are 10 basically. Oh, wait a second, you only get one of the golden skins, not even all of them.
That's just pathetic.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. When I'm saying that Atomic Heart's OST is dog shit, Well, that's basically because I don't like the specific style of music that they used. Original songs that used as basis for those hosts, they're good. They're good for their time. They sound good even now. What they did, they basically put along that genre of club music and transfer Soviet music into it.
Mm.
And they took one song that I like in original and used a bad rock cover of that song when there exists good rock cover of the same song from the different performer.
Isn't it also kind of weird that um, that the characters, they were talking with a Russian accent, right?
Yeah, that's what I don't get. Every time when they wanna show that it's
I mean,
Russian character,
we get
they use
we
bad
get
Russian accent.
yeah. I mean, we get that it plays in Russia, so everybody could just talk regular English.
Yeah, you have everything written in Russian. I guess people could get a slight suspicion that it is Russian.
Yeah, exactly. So that was kind of weird when they started with the Russian accent. I mean,
Yeah,
well, okay,
that's
if everybody would switch to English, then it would make sense. But it is still in Russia, so why would they talk English? And if they talk English, it should be they are Russian. So you know what I mean?
yeah.
So
It's basically they're talking English, but they talking English for the specific dub.
yeah, yeah,
For themselves, they talking in Russian. It might be shocking, but Russians don't talk with Russian accents
yeah.
when
No
they
shit.
talk in Russian.
Really? Oh, that's a surprise.
Yeah,
So you had to listen to the regular accent-free Russian voiceover? Oh, that's sad.
yeah. It's like blowing my mind. Like, how it is possible?
Funny.
Yeah.
Crazy. Yeah, it's I mean, when I listen to Germans, barely an accent. Well, it depends
Yeah.
in what corner you are. Because in my area you do have an accent. But
Bavarian.
yeah, Bavarian. Yeah, somebody from North Germany would not understand shit down here. In deep Bavaria, you know, where the real Bavarians are, even
Mhm.
I don't understand everything. So somebody from the north, for them it just sounds like Dutch. That's the reason why I can read a little bit and understand a little bit of Dutch, because it sounds a bit like Bavarian accent. So that helps a bit. Friends of mine were surprised when they were talking. Well, both are from the Netherlands. They were saying something, and I replied to that, and they were like, "Wait, you can Dutch?" No, nope. I'm just Bavarian. It helps. Okay, moving on.
Well, we also have corners like that, like Karelia or Chechnya, where Yakutia as well, where people talking in specific Russian
Mm,
mixed with their own language.
mm. Yeah, you have that in many places. I mean,
But yeah,
a hardcore redneck from the United States and somebody who lives in New York. Well, even in New York, they have different slangs like Bronx and Harlem and stuff like that. I'm good in understanding English, but I think I might not get everything when it's really, yeah, redneck is the Bavarian, the English version of Bavarian in Germany. Yeah, pretty much.
so yeah, when I'm when I'm saying Russian free, and you put run instead ru in the title.
What did I?
When I'm saying that
Oh.
there is no accent, it doesn't mean that Russians don't have accent at all. There is South Russian pronunciation, North Russian pronunciation, Ural pronunciation, Siberian pronunciation, and Far East pronunciation, basically.
A friend of mine lives
But
in.
it's yeah, okay, but it's basically like English, American, or Australian. It's not like we're going to be. What the heck are you talking about? I don't understand how you sound. There are some difference, some specific phrases, but it's not like super disturbed. So it would be like, oh my god, that Russian accent's killing me.
Yeah, and you still understand most of it.
Yeah,
Besides a few certain
specific
yeah,
words.
specific terms or stuff. Like I sometimes see shorts on YouTube from an Australian podcast, a woman and a guy, and oh my god, they're so freaking hilarious with a few things, and they do have sometimes videos where they say, yeah, that's what we use here, but that means something completely different somewhere else in English. So in America,
Mm-hmm.
it would be just, okay, no, I don't want to say that there, and I don't remember specifically, but well, you have some terms that well, we do have a term here in Bavaria that's completely normal to say. You can use it for different things. In well, outside of Bavaria, the same term is a term for the female genitalia. But here in Bavaria, you can use that as a verb if you want to slap somebody, or in general when you're talking about the mouth of somebody. So if we use that here, it's no. I mean, you still can use it as the bad word for the genitalia. It's basically like cunt being the really bad version of pussy, for example, or vagina, and that's the same here. But in Bavaria, it's special. You can use it basically in three different ways. And if I say that term, like I slap you in North Germany, they would look like me like, wait, what? Because in that sense, or in that case, it makes no sense for them, because how does slapping somebody has to do with the freaking genitalia? For them, it makes no sense because they only know that one term. Well, we use three terms, so or one term for three things.
So we got completely distracted with that thing.
Ah, never.
Yeah. So we we watched several versions of one particular scene of Cyberpunk. It did not have that type of bad Polish accent, well, bad Slavic accent, in neither of those scenes. Why the fuck developer of Atomic Hearts decided to use bad heavy Russian accent in English voiceover? I have no fucking idea.
It would only make sense, well, besides the Western market, but it would only make sense here if the main character that you're playing isn't a Russian. Then it would make sense if that guy is an
Yeah,
American or whatever from anywhere. Then it
yeah,
would completely make sense. But
yeah.
since
Then
he,
for him it would be like they trying to talk with him in English,
yeah,
but all he's can hear is heavy Russian accent.
Yeah, exactly. Then it makes sense. But this, I mean, they're all Russian. Goddammit, it makes no fucking
Yeah.
sense. For
Well,
you, yeah.
there is one German. In Russian, he talking with bad, not even German accent. He's talking with bad, like, I don't know. He's talking with bad Bulgarian accent or something like that.
I wouldn't know how a German accent
No.
in
He's
Russian would
talking
sound.
with bad Baltic accent. There.
No idea. Wouldn't even. I wouldn't know. Here I think it was heavy German English. Yeah, I don't know. It's sometimes weird in movies. It's really weird, or in games. It's really weird when they actually have an American actor or voice actor saying stuff in German, not a German talking in German English. But when not German speaking actors talk German. Oh my god, that's oh my god, so cringe. It sounds like there's not one German in the United States who can work for a freaking movie and tell them you pronounce it like this. Normally you would
remember that cartoon Lorax with Danny DeVito as that. So, guess who voiced Lorax in Russian dub?
That one guy that you like so much?
No, Danny DeVito.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He did bad Russian dub of that movie for Russia. He got a lot of money for that, and I have no idea why our producers decided to give that job to him. He definitely mispronouncing more than one word. And no one in American studio was like, nah, you should do it in a different way. And that was their whole shtick. Danny DeVito voiced our cartoon. Well, voiced cartoon for Russian audience. Why?
Yeah, but even yeah, I mean, you can still have a Russian person on the freaking or in the freaking studio for the recording,
or at least on the fucking Skype call.
Yeah, I mean, just or let him talk something, record it, and then play it for somebody who is native Russian, and then you hear no, you have to say that differently. Because sometimes here in Germany, in some talk shows or so, they let non-German speaking Americans talk German. Basically, you can write it like phonetically, so they just have to read it as they would read it in English, and then it sounds like German. But when you as a German read it, it would be like, what the fuck? Because there are some letter combinations that apparently are hard for Americans to say. I don't know why, but
remember when there was announcement that next World Cup, football World Cup will be in Russia. So our sport minister came to the Tribune, put up the list with the speech in front of him, and when that paper with the speech, and when our news outlets get the glimpse of that speech, it was written in Russian but with English words.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's what I mean.
It was so heavy Russian accent that heavy Russian accent could be only if he would speak directly Russian.
Yeah, that's pretty much what they do here in Germany as well. If they want to have an American talk German, they just write it in English, basically how you would have to say it, and it's like in the dictionary, you always have in those brackets how a word is spoken.
Yeah.
So that does help, but it helps more if you can read that phonetical pronunciation while you listen to it. So
Yeah, that's true.
but yeah, it's funny. It's funny.
Well, back to the voiceover of Atomic Hearts. English voiceover is dog shit. Russian voiceover a bit better, but still bad. I completely disagree with the casting, with main characters, most of the main characters. And I think that most of the actors did a bad job. At least directing was really bad, and they did a bad job with that because of that.
Mm. Yeah, and
Oh yeah,
in a game like this, voiceover is important.
yeah, specifically when you have an exposition dumps. And this game have several moments with heavy exposition dump.
Mm.
I was shocked that it was like, yeah, I'm getting that I'm supposed to get some storytelling from the environment. But that stupid glove just starting spewing all of the stuff that I was supposed to get from the environment. Like, okay, you listen here, you piece of shit. You know, we know that you ain't paying attention to what's happening around you. So let us tell you directly what and why.
We want you to explore the world for the story and lore, but let us tell you anyway.
Yeah. We want you to explore it, but we don't trust you to explore it.
To explore enough to find it.
Yeah.
I mean, there should be a point when you get in a new area or so, and the game through internal checks realizes, oh, okay, he didn't find that item, but it's kind of important for the story. Then a voiceover for that item that you missed or something kind of makes sense. But otherwise, yeah, decide.
That item also can be mandatory to progress or just
Well, then,
be like,
well, those items you normally find.
yeah, or be like just from games. Player missed it. Screw him. His problem.
Yeah. Like that one video where he gets to the bonfire. I think I sent it to you as well. He gets to the bonfire and there's an NPC, and after a while the NPC is like, "Yeah, now go fuck off, fuck off, kill what I just told you." And the dude who's playing, he's like, "Where do I have to go? What did you say? Isn't there a lock? Anything?" Fuck off! Hey! Didn't know what to
Yeah,
do.
that was exactly my reaction in Dark Souls 1 with those two bells of the undead.
In Elden Ring, I also had that with a few things. That's the reason why I started to use a walkthrough at some point to see what I missed or what I broke or did wrong and stuff. So, because yeah, it's kind of tricky to remember everything. It will be fun when I return back to the game at like 250 plus hours and only 2/3 through the game. That's gonna be interesting. It's been a year since I played it or so.
Oh yeah, that's a long stop.
Yeah, and starting right with level 90 or 100, what I have. Yeah. It's gonna be fun.
Yeah, specifically for common enemies, they're going to be like, Wrong turf, man.
Yeah, exactly. Like the other video from that short. So hilarious. Oh yeah, oh that's Dark Souls? Yeah, I don't know. I don't need tutorials. No problem. Ah, hey. Okay, I can do this here with my shield and I can shield. Okay, it gets to the enemy. Whoosh, parry. It's completely open. Bam, gets stabbed. At one point he finally killed that dude and he's like, yeah, I'm the best. And then you hear whoosh from behind, get stabbed from behind, and welcome to Dark Souls. You died.
Yeah.
It's so funny. I think I should watch those shorts on a stream one day. It's just hilarious. All right, voiceover. What else is shit?
So we basically going to the most shit that I have with this game, and this is world building and the story that they wrote for this game. And we should go back to 2022 to February of 2022 when this game star got accusation in glorifying Soviet Union and glorifying Russian culture, and how dare they be Russians anyway? Stuff like that.
Yeah, well,
Even petitions to close this game in general, just because it have some Soviet aesthetic in it.
really?
Yeah. All I can say, people who said that this game is glorifying Soviet Union, they can dance in joy. It's not glorifying Soviet Union. It's doing exactly the opposite.
Yeah, and it's alternate reality anyway. It's like, what was the game? Uh, Legend or Legendary or something, where you,
Yeah, Legend.
yeah, you Legend, I think, where you're also in an alternate reality where the Nazis won and are in the United States. Was it?
Let's say Wolfenstein.
Yeah, okay, yeah, you
Wolfenstein
have
2,
that in
for
Wolfenstein
example.
as well, yeah. But nobody would say, hey, that game is pro-Nazi propaganda or something like that.
Yeah, because you basically playing as a character who fighting against it. Here you playing as a character with hammer and sickle and whatnot. So
Yeah, but you're also not fighting Russians in there, but mostly, well, the
yeah,
failure
you
of the
fighting
AI
robots.
and robots and stuff. So it's not. Yeah, it's different, but it's not really. I mean, yeah, you see, it's pro Russia kinda, but I mean that's.
No, 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 no! If somebody will tell me that this game is pro-Russia, all I can say is that person did not finish this
You
game.
know, I didn't.
This game is so anti-Soviet, it's so anti-Russia, that only Nazi propaganda can be on the same level.
Okay. Yeah, well, the beginning is kind of like, yeah, look what we did, and we created that nano
Yeah,
stuff and whatnot. So kind of
but you all,
like BioShock Infinite is kind of a bit like pro America, or maybe not
yeah.
pro America, but it's kind of patriotic, and
Mm-hmm.
that fits maybe more. So it's uh yeah, right, that the bad guy in Atomic Heart wants to make Russia the best country on the planet, basically.
Did you talk about main bad guy or the bad guy that we're trying to catch?
Yeah, well, the big dude who is basically like Ryan from BioShock,
Okay,
the creator
main
of
bad
that
guy.
whole world and everything
Yeah, okay.
of that society.
But
He wants to, yeah.
there is a catch to his ideas. He had he had built the specific manipulator that
Yeah, that's
Two of them.
yeah, the something 2.0. What was it?
Collective 2.0,
Yeah, exactly.
but he made specifically two manipulators. Those two manipulators would make people who wearing them part of the collective 2.0, but at the same time they are invincible for the collective.
Mm.
They could go and basically do whatever and nobody will notice it.
Mm.
It's basically like one of the episodes of Doctor Who, like some specific alien race that was like, yeah, we manipulating everything, and every time you see us, we giving you the command to do what we want, and after you getting your gaze out of us, you forgetting that we even existed.
It's like Men in Black, the blue thingy where they boop kind of
Yeah,
delete your
in a
memory.
way, but it's basically more direct. You looking at the person, you see that that person is a part of a collective, but that person saying, "No, no, 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 you don't see, you didn't see me. Go and jump from that roof." And when you're getting that comment, person was like, "Okay," and jump from the roof.
Mm. Yeah, I know what you mean.
So yeah, whatever Mandfish wrote, it's not Soviet history, Soviet aesthetic. It's not even made in Soviet ideology. They did what they thought a Soviet ideology, but what they did fascist ideology. They literally did two different locations that CRAC would stand and clap. He would be like, yeah, I would do the same fucking thing.
Mm.
And he did. They basically recreated crimes of Unit 791 in Manzhou. And they did it like Soviet government did it. And they did it just because.
Mm.
They basically put more than one reference to fascist actions and put it into Soviet aesthetic. They didn't create Soviet future alternative future. They created what would happen if fascism won.
Mm.
But this time they put fascism into red aesthetics.
Mm.
They basically used Soviet aesthetic because that's something that they know and that they can recreate. But it's not Soviet aesthetic. It's not even Soviet country. Not even close.
Mm. Yeah, but it's its own area, and the name of the town or that whole thing there is also kind of weird. It doesn't really have a name like a city name or something. What was it?
Yeah,
Base or something also.
yeah. It's basically named like it's a big giant factory, but
Yeah.
that's a factory with
It kind of reminds me of Hi-Fi Rush, which also plays on a campus, which is its own freaking area and town or whatever.
they used at least one Soviet they used at least one name of existed Soviet politician and killed him. And they basically tried to like there is a fight in the party for control of the collective. And the game basically telling you this guy, Comrade Molotov, basically want to control collective for himself. But when Molotov actually came to that thing with inspection, he said that he basically that the party decided to close the project, that it cancelled and won't be renewed. But the game still continued to act up like, see what that bastard did. He wanted to steal the creation of that main guy, bad guy. And I was like, dude, you literally told me in the cutscene that he came here to cancel it all. And not like soft cancel, like we're going to freeze it and reopen it in several months. He said that it's not going to happen, period. Basically, hard stop to everything that what you're doing. That was like for me, you telling me one thing, you showing me another. I know what you want to tell me, that it's basically a corrupt system, and no matter how good I think about that system, this system is bad and it's worse that whatever happened with the world. But that's just your opinion first, and second, what you're showing me, it have zero connections with the system that you're trying to build.
Yeah, I didn't play enough to have all that that those opinions or anything. I really just played it for, like I said,
Yeah.
around 5 hours. So barely scratched the surface.
Yeah. We also have that stuff like two people wanted to show the world, specifically the West, that Soviet Union is dangerous and must be destroyed. That what they wanted, no, well, at least must be stopped. That what those people wanted to show to the world, and we should feel sympathy for them. Why? I have no idea. And the main stopping factor of any sympathy from me is they participated in this system. They had both of those people who participated in rebellion, they participated in the creation of the said system that they want to destroy. They knew from the beginning what they're making and why they're making it. It's not like I'm some kind of engineer who responsible for only one part of the program. Somehow I have no idea how it's going to work together. They both of them specifically knew what is created and why it's created. And they decided to stop it only before it was launched. Just in time, I'd say.
It kind of gives me God feelings in quotes, because in quotes, God created humanity or humans and created them like himself, basically, and then punished us for being what he made us. I mean, so it's kind of, yeah.
Yeah. So when it comes to inner logic of the story, it's basically like, what's logic? I don't care about it. So people who wanted to cancel Atomic Heart for being anti-Soviet, all I can say is pro-Soviet. All I can say is congratulations. Your fears are not paid off. This game is completely anti-Soviet with anti-Russian story.
Yeah, well, a lot of people might not have played the game and you see the red
Yeah.
star on that character in the logo right there. So, and they know it comes from Russia. It does have a bit of aesthetics of it and stuff. So they maybe just assume stuff.
Yeah, it's basically like that experiment that scientists did with mechanical leopard and chimpanzees. Chimpanzees didn't give a shit that leopard wasn't real. They thought that it's just a thing that looks like a leopard, and they attacked it. They attacked it without even thinking that it may not attack them or it's looks as fake as possible.
Mm-hmm.
Chimpanzees attacked it because it looks like leopard. Basically the same thing with atomic hearts. Atomic hearts just look like Soviet aesthetics.
Mm. Yeah, you see it in the trailers and everything.
They
So
were really proud with stuff like we used Pugacheva songs in the game, and I was like, okay, so those songs are good.
yeah,
I don't like how you mixed them.
there are some known songs in there. Yeah, even in the first few hours that I recognized.
In the game, I also one particular song that broke my immersion. I heard modern Russian song.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was like doopty 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 doop.
But wait, it plays in an alternate 60s, right? Was it 50s or
Yeah,
60s? Something like that, right?
I think 60s.
Ah.
So yeah, it's in 60s playing the song that was performed in 2000s.
Hey, they were just ahead of the time. I mean, come on, they had super robots and shit. So
That's the different country song. Before that, they used. Well, in the game, they're using Soviet songs most of the time. And only this one song, only Russian song specifically.
yeah, that's stuff somebody like I wouldn't know, I guess.
Yeah, for me, it was like immersion breaking. When I heard it, I was like, no.
Why?
Yeah. Not like the song is bad, but this song have no place in this world, specifically in this alternate world where Russia either will now be, specifically as Russian Federation, or yeah, well, specifically in the world where Russia will now be as Russian Federation. It will be always as socialistic Russia. That was like, come on, guys, that's basically the different country. It's not just different time period, it's specifically a different country.
Yeah, but it's kind of like Quebec is in Canada, but it's its own country, basically country in the country, and they want to try to split off from Canada to become their own country. Because they have a few other rules, and the main language is French, only the second language is English, and they have a few different things text-wise, and so it's basically, yeah, like its own country in there. Kind of like what Berlin as a town was when we still were split with the wall, because, well, it was Berlin was in the east part of Germany. In that part, it was not directly connected to the west. Yes, you had a west part and you had an east part, but it's not like the wall went through it directly and you were on the... I don't know, it was kind of weird. But yeah.
So yeah, basically, I played Atomic Heart. I enjoyed it. I all I would say is play it either on Steam or Game Pass. But when it comes to Atomic Heart 2, I will hard pass this game. I heard whatever developer wanted to say in the first one. I didn't like the message, and I'm like, nah, I'm done. I enjoyed this game, but I'm not going to touch the second one. If they're going to make a new IP, I might check it out. But Atomic Heart, that's it. That's only one game for me, and I'm not going to touch this game universe ever again.
Yeah, well, they still have to do 4 DLCs before they even think about part 2, I guess.
Yeah, they already announced part 2. Well, that they will make this one. But the main thing is, as you said, they still have no idea what's going to be in those DLCs.
Yeah, that's it. And if those are shit, people will not buy the second game.
Yeah,
Because, well, some people might
and
have just bought the big package for whatever reason.
it's basically like me with Ancient Gods. I played Doom Eternal, I bought 2 Ancient Gods at the same time. I played the first one and I was like, yeah, screw that. Recently I played the second one.
And did you like it?
It literally killed the franchise in the Ancient Gods Part 2. They literally put protagonist into the coffin
Yeah, well,
and looped the series to 2016 again.
okay. Yeah, I'm not gonna play Ancient Gods. I know it is the base difficulty is like the very hard difficulty in Eternal.
The problem is
So,
not only the difficulty, it's lazy. Specifically in Ancient Gods Part 2, you can see reused areas from the Eternal. You can see that level design wasn't even inspired by anything. It just empty arenas with a bunch of drops and maybe 1 or 2 jump pads. That's all. No decorations, no anything. Even in original Doom, there was more decorative elements on the level than in Ancient Gods Part 2.
was
And the
it?
ending of the Ancient Gods Part 2, well, the start of the last mission, it's epic. But it's not Doom epic. It's like Warhammer epic.
Was
It
that
have
for...
no idea what to do with Doom anymore.
Oh
And
yeah, okay.
Ancient Gods is basically good example that they creatively dead with Doom.
Well, for Doom 3, the add-on Resurrection of Evil was pretty good actually. There was new area and everything.
Yeah,
That was pretty nice.
yeah. I'm not going to talk about. I'm not going to talk bad about Doom 3 add-ons. Doom 3 add-ons really good. I like them both. Yeah, one of them seems a bit gimmicky. One when you got that specific magic that one hits most of the enemies. But yeah, I did like Doom 3 add-ons.
Yeah, I just saw that the BFG edition supports stereoscopic 3D. I should
Oh.
I should maybe play that. That should work in VR then as well. Interesting.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, well you can use side by side 3D movies in VR headset. That does work.
Well, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Doom 3 looks like technically ahead of its time.
Yeah, the BFG edition does have a few weird things, but it looks a bit better lighting and stuff. But for Doom 3 you can get a shit ton of mods, so
Yeah, that as well. So yeah, basically my main complaints about Atomic Hearts, whatever is written, it's not even close to be pro-Soviet. It just a mask of being pro-Soviet. But when you starting to read in between lines, you can see that people were specifically anti-Soviet, and with that they also saying that they are kind of anti-Russians as well. Well, there's a saying, anti-Soviet, always Russophobic. So yeah, they basically did it. They basically created a good anti-Soviet and anti-Russia propaganda. But all that people must do is play beyond 15 hours to get into the big concentration of it. Well, 15. I'm saying 15 hours because for me it was around 15 hours because I was in every dungeon possible.
Yeah. If you want to see more and explore more. Otherwise, I think it's 11 hours or so. Wait. Main story is 16 hours.
Bullshit. It's much faster.
All right.
If I'd skip, if I wouldn't play on the hardest difficulty, skip all additional stuff, it would be much faster.
Yeah. Okay. What was it?
You trying to remember the name of the game where Nazi won?
Nah. Also one of the games that when you just went through the story, you could end it in like 5 or 6 hours. Forspoken. Yeah, Forspoken. You can finish that in 6 or 7 hours or so. If you just go for the main story and the main quest. And same for
RPG?
that. Yeah, Forspoken that Square Enix bullshit for $80.
He's
That game. And that Island 2, I also heard you can finish it in like 15 hours or so, 15 or 20 hours. But if you play the side quests and explore stuff, you can easily get 50 hours out of it.
Well, it's basically like with Cyberpunk. If you'll just go with main story, it's like, yeah, 9 to 15 hours. But if you'll go try to explore everything, you might squeeze around 100 hours.
Yeah, and I have over 200.
Yeah.
Well, doing bullshit and stuff, but really, I did everything that. Well, I'm still missing, I think, two main story missions and a few of the things that they added with the patches, with new
yeah.
encounters and stuff.
I got it. That anime-related content.
Yeah, exactly. For example, that. I still didn't watch the anime. I should.
Same thing. I I know that I should, but at the same time I know that it's not Cyberpunk. Specifically, it's not Cyberpunk that I played.
Exactly.
And that I must watch it on its own merit.
A lot of people actually watched the anime and liked it so much because, yeah, it's supposedly pretty good. And then they bought Cyberpunk because they liked that anime. I think a lot of them were kinda disappointed that it's not like the
they
anime.
didn't buy it at the launch, so it's not like it's
That's true.
completely broken. It's more or less fixed, specifically for consoles.
Yeah, for the new gen. Last gen.
Yeah. Because New Gen Ports was made by a Russian studio, and when it comes to Witcher Enhanced, Polish CDPR just took whatever they Russians did and then released whatever.
Yeah. The project.
How might you have fallen?
Yeah,
Well, at least Georgia is still DRM free. That's still good.
I had a discussion on Steam about Epic Game Store and how can I use the Unreal Engine and the free games if I hate them so much? Hey, dude, seriously? So yeah, it's basically about Dead Island 2 being exclusive on Epic, and we already on page 13 in the Dead Island Definitive Edition forum. So yeah. But there was
Old war, same arguments.
yeah, I mean and one was like, yeah, but you don't tell anybody that they are keyloggers and that they sell the data. Dude, that was 4 years ago when that stupid bullshit was talked about.
Trending.
Tencent doesn't even own Epic. They have shares in Epic. Epic is owned by Tim Tencent. I read it again today. It's so funny. Timmy Tencent. It's so hilarious. But yeah, it's still owned by Tim Sweeney, and it's not gonna change. He founded that when he was what, like 17 or so, when he founded Epic. Yeah, I know because I read about it. But yeah, I don't think that he is gonna sell out the whole company. I mean, it's still his company, so
At least, well, still can be can leading this company.
yeah. Well, he's my age, so a bit older, I think.
Well, anyway, it's not like he just going to sell it without a reason.
No, definitely not.
Mm-hmm. Ah,
Oh, talking about selling and buying stuff. In Europe, Microsoft, well, I don't exactly know how to phrase that, but they have the okay from the European Council or whatever to buy Activision. Because there have been some issues and the EU was against that or something, but they basically gave the okay, so I guess it's just a matter of time. And
I wanna just make a remark that Sony risked everything to freeze this deal. Sony even got into trouble with anti-monopoly agency in Japan. Sony got trouble with dodging taxes in Europe and USA. Sony got into a lot of shit just to stop this deal.
yeah, and I
And
know.
it didn't pay out.
No. It seems not, no. The funny thing is Microsoft already had something, a contract, they already have contracts and stuff, what happens in the next 2 years when they buy it. And Kotick is the CEO of Blizzard, I think. And that
Well, the same as Todd Howard still.
yeah,
In
well,
Bethesda.
yeah, well, yeah, he will still stay there, I guess. But Kotick is accused of sexual assault and stuff like that, and that's the reason why they will cut ties with him after 2 years of kinda slowly getting him out of the company or something like that.
Oh, so it's a 2-year employment contract.
Yeah, kinda, basically.
Yeah, okay. At least he will be. We have a promise that he will be out.
He will be out, but not right away, which is kind of
Yeah.
shit. Normally, they should say, "Hey, okay, when we take it over, that's the very first person who goes, and he doesn't get any extra money anymore, because he's a freaking rape supporter or whatever." I don't fully know what happened there, but there were a lot of sexual assault accusations in Activision Blizzard, and well, he's the boss of the company, and he's like, oh. So he should
Yeah, and he
go
knew
right away.
about it.
Yeah, that's a problem. Yeah, if you knowingly accept it or let it happen, you're basically the same shit. So if you're okay with rape, I mean, it's just one step more until you rape somebody on your own. So nah, that's not okay. But hey, should Microsoft buy that? Um, I hope that we see Diablo on freaking Game Pass. Because I'm not gonna pay for
Uh,
that game. Mostly
yeah, same.
mostly because of the MMO mechanics. I do understand it
Oh,
with world bosses and stuff, but I mean,
so they went Path of Exile pass.
no, Path of Exiles, you have your hub where you have other players, but you
Hmm.
don't see people outside of the hub if you don't group up, as far as I remember. But in Diablo, you will see players while you run around. Not in dungeons.
Oh, Destiny route. Okay, I get it.
Yeah, so not in dungeons. Dungeons are instances, so if you go into a dungeon alone, you're alone in the dungeon. That's done. But you do have world events where you normally need at least one or two more people to not die. I could do the smaller world events without any issues alone. Um, and there are world bosses as well, and they are supposed to be done with people. There was one big dragon or something in the Diablo beta, and one guy was fighting that boss alone. Took him like 45 minutes.
Did he scream Leroy Jenkins?
Nah, there was no need for it. He was alone, so. And yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah. Did you see the Super Mario movie already?
Nah.
If you have a chance to watch it, watch it. I am not saying anything about it, but there's some really funny shit in it.
Okay.
It
I have a problem with studio, but yeah, okay.
it's
I might watch it.
it's a really really good movie actually. And for somebody like me who grew up with old consoles and uh, the original Donkey Kong and stuff, I I know a lot about Nintendo. I worked for Nintendo as well. Even though I'm not really playing much Nintendo, you know, I I have a 3DS, I have an NDI, I have no, what was it? Not NDI, yeah, whatever the pre 3DS. I have a Wii, and I might get a Switch at one point because I really really want to play freaking Zelda, the new Zelda.
GB,
Huh?
GBA
Um,
3D, pre
I
3DS was DS, and before
Oh,
that GB.
DSi. DSi is the one that I meant.
Ah,
It was DS, DSi, 3DS.
okay.
I don't have an advanced. Um, I kind of missed that, and I had a Game Boy Color, but I think that died in the basement of a friend when he had some water problems.
Rape.
Yeah, I'm never. I seriously, electronics. I will never ever. Oh, that reminds me that he still has one of the what's it? NSI? No, NDI? NS? NSI? I don't know. Anyway, he still has one of those from me. So yeah, I'm never gonna borrow any electronics to somebody. No, no, that's my shit now. Whatever I buy, it's my shit. Buy your own shit. Destroy your shit, not my shit. I have stuff here that's like 30 plus years old in working conditions. So,
Oh,
I
that's
mean,
nice.
come on. Yeah, pretty much everything like that, like Nintendo stuff or so. I still have all my stuff that I owned or bought. I have my Super Nintendo right next to me. in a drawer I have a Mega Drive. In the drawer below it is an Amiga 500. I even have a original Amiga 500 monitor somewhere in a closet. It's like this big. It's like 12-inch or so. it's so small. It's like one.
Yeah, screen's small, but that thing should be big.
Yeah, I mean the Amiga 500 is like this. This the Amiga 500. It's like your keyboard plus extra stuff on the side, and it's crazy. Well, actually, it's like a keyboard, but the depth is like twice as much. And I read something not too long ago in a game magazine. Somebody wanted to revive his Amiga 500 to play those old school games because the Amiga 500 had absolutely awesome games. He wanted to play that with his kids. Yeah, but try using discs, floppy. Or yeah, well, it wasn't really floppy anymore, but the floppy disk from back then, they're all dead. They just lost all the data or parts of the data. But there's one thing, and it costs only 30 or 40 bucks. You basically simulate. You have to put in a new PCB with some chips and stuff, and you basically can use a USB stick as a big floppy disk. It basically simulates a disk, but you can put like 1 gigabyte or whatever with all your apps and programs and everything. And it's just you even have one version with a little tiny OLED display on the side where you can switch through the different disks on that USB stick. And then you do that before you start the Amiga. Because normally you put in the disk and then you started the Amiga and it booted whatever you had in there. Was it a game or was it a program? If you didn't put anything in, just the start disk, you ended up in the operating system. I wouldn't even know if I could handle an Amiga because back in the day I had a Commodore 64. I didn't even own an Amiga 500. I got that from an ex-colleague. That and something like the old school Pong knockoffs. So she gave me all that stuff. She passed away 2 years afterwards. She had cancer, and I didn't really know her too long or too much, but she knew that I will definitely take care of that stuff. So she was like, yeah, okay, I know it's in good hands. You want to have it, you collected stuff, here, have it. Oh, and by the way, here's a monitor. Oh, and I got an Amiga 500 joystick as well. And a box like this with freaking discs full of games, but I guess most are dead. Same for my Commodore 64 discs or tapes.
They basically just exist as a collection item.
Yeah, pretty much. The thing is, I don't have them in my basement or anything. They're not in the sun or so they're in a dry environment. So chances are high that stuff still works. But just physically, floppy disks and tapes, music tapes as well, they last for around 20 hours, 20 years. And that's basically it. And CD-ROMs, I think 30 to 40, and I have paid produced CDs that are done. When you turn them around, they still look like a disc, but they look like they have sectors in every few rows, so it looks like a strange texture, and you cannot use them anymore because it's like a full stop for the laser. It's like nope, ends here. So yeah, I have the cases with everything, but I think from the 600-700 CD albums that I have, yeah, a lot will sadly be dead, I guess. Which is sad because I have some collectors stuff from the early techno times, and yeah, well, I don't listen to CDs anymore anyway, but kinda sad. It's a lot of money. Anyway, wanna rip Atomic Heart some more, or are you done ripping the
Yeah,
game?
without spoiling some stuff, I can't rip it anymore. So yeah, I said what I wanted to say. I said my main complaints about this, and I'm pretty sure I at least mentioned most of the stuff that I wanted to complain about.
Mm,
So yeah, again, I enjoyed it, but I'm not going to continue with it. No matter what will be in DLCs, no matter if they actually make Atomic Hearts 2.
mm. I'm not.
I still willing to give them one more chance with another IP, but not with this one.
Mm. Well, the question is, well, I don't need, I don't know how it ends, so I don't know if, and I don't want to know from you right now if that would be continuing the story or if it would be a prequel, how they got to that point.
I
But
don't think that it's going to be a prequel because it's an open-ended story.
yeah, okay, but yeah, I don't know. Let's wait if they actually make DLCs that are any good and what they will
Oh
be.
yeah, they need to release DLC at first.
So let them do that. And
Yeah.
I think that might take until next year or so for all the
If they're going
DLCs.
to release it next year, it might not sell. Hype already almost dead for Atomic Heart.
Yeah, but well, they will release a DLC, maybe two this year, I guess. It depends how long they are. Um, for
Yeah.
Borderlands, they also took a few months in between.
And
That's
again, the problem with Atomic Heart DLC, they only planned that they're going to make DLCs. They had no plans what's going to be in those DLCs.
yeah, that's a question. But if you already say that it's kinda open-ended, might be related to that continuation, maybe through a DLC, which would be interesting because normally you get a DLC that's kinda related to the main game.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. But we can remember good old days and remember game like Overlord Rising Hell. When they released add-on, well, Rising Hell was an add-on, and it added to the base game, and it ended a new ending.
Yeah, it's on sale at the moment. Yeah, I saw that a few days
I would
ago.
say buy it on GOG because on GOG Overlord and Overlord Rising Hell goes in one package.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, you do have
I
the whole bundle is only 260. I own only one in Steam, but um I owned them for games for Windows. So also funny part of that discussion in the forum. Um, I said, hey, I would still install stuff without Steam, and yeah, and then yeah, but you adopted to Steam. Yeah, you cannot buy freaking games in a store and install them without Steam. It's just a thing. I mean, it's not like I chose that. You have no different choice. It's either or. I mean, it's either Steam or Epic or something like that, but you cannot without a launcher or platform install any game in a legal way.
You can with GOG.
Yeah, yeah, okay. But still, you need to buy it there. So
Yeah,
you cannot you basically buy it in digital, but you cannot buy a
yeah.
boxed game and just like back in the day with the games for Windows bullshit that they had.
Yeah. I have Front Mission Evolved disc, but it's basically a bunch of nothing because it requires Steam.
I have so many games actually that were for games for Windows. even one game that I shouldn't even have. But yeah, yeah, that's when you saw that on your disk. Wait, here, this here, games for Windows. Then you didn't need Steam, and they were.
Oh, 2008. That's strange that this game actually disappeared from every digital store.
What, the game that I just showed?
Yeah. I absolutely recognize that art.
Yeah, you couldn't buy that in Germany. What?
You can't buy it anywhere. This game is basically a dust or a spectacle that on pirate drives. That's it. The only way to find this game digitally is download it from some sort of bay.
Well, that's actually Activision. Huh. Activision published. Let me see if that actually how that. Well, it's a DVD, so that should be fine. Ah, it's fine.
Yeah. So what?
Wait a second.
On
I never tried this with a lot of games for Windows. You could actually add them to EA games, to Origins. I mean, okay.
Oh.
Yeah. Like Bulletstorm, I have the uncut Australian collector's edition because for some reason the store I was working in, where my Nintendo store was, they had those too. I don't know, and I paid $5 for it, like a week or two after it came out, because wait, it was the original. There was no German on it, and they were like, "Yeah, if you want to have it, you can have it cheap." And I was like, "Yeah, fuck yeah, give it to me." So I played it uncut, yeah, with the Games for Windows version. Then I took the key, put it in Origins, and Origins asks me, because it's multi-language anyway, and it asks me, what version do you want to have? And you could choose English in two or three different versions. I don't know. But afterwards I learned that I chose the wrong one. I think I chose English UK, and because of that it realized, hey wait, that dude is in Europe, he's in Germany, he gets the cut version. I still, to this day, didn't get a reply to my fucking tickets that I opened with EA. So I hate EA. EA support sucks ass. Not in a good way. So, but yeah, you can try to take the keys for Game for Windows games and add them to Epic. Not Epic, EA games.
I think it won't work in my case because in my case it's Fable 3.
I did that with Battlefield 3. That worked. I did it with, I think, Rage.
You can't even buy Fable 3 on Microsoft Store.
Fable 3 is on Steam.
It's still on Steam?
Yeah, the Anniversary Edition.
I thought it, last time I checked it, didn't have a price tag.
I thought it was still. Wait, I think it's in the collection now. No, Fable Anniversary is Fable 3, right?
No, Fable Anniversary is Fable 1.
Really?
Yeah.
I think I passed the third one. The Lost Chapters, I think I played that. The Lost Chapters was the second one, right? I'm confused.
I think Lost Chapters.
No, that was the first one.
No, it's for the. It's an add-on for the first one.
Was it an add-on?
I think so.
Because it looks like what I played. I did install Fable Anniversary actually. You can mod that so it runs on 21/9, so I might play that again. One of the games from Peter Molyneux. The dude with... I don't know, seriously. blah, blah, blah the whole time with every single game. And, well, half of what he promised made it into the games, but oh my god, I think that was the one single developer who made the most promises that he never could hold. For not one single fucking game.
Yeah, and the problem is he did it for all of his games.
Yeah, exactly. Just for one game he might not have done it, and that was also, I guess, one of his best games was Populous back then. That was his first game.
Yeah.
He had great games, don't get me wrong, really, really good games, but
Yeah, I played Black and White 2. I know that people saying that Black and White 1 was better, but I didn't play Black and White 1. I played Black and White 2. I really like it.
I played all of his games basically, and they were all good games. They were above average, but if they had a little bit more of what he promised, well, Fable had a lot of things in it, like that you aged, that you could marry different characters in the game, and all that kind of stuff. But it needed a bit more, and Black and White was also kind of weird, although it was one of the first games where you had believable AI. So it was a pretty nice game and looked good. Yeah. It worked well. But again,
and Black and White was most direct and still most direct God simulator that we have.
No, there was another one where you could manipulate the land. So you could
Godos.
No. That was yeah, that was the game that Godus was the last game that he didn't finish.
Oh yeah, that's again his game.
Yeah.
Abandoned early access game that you still can buy.
Yeah, but it doesn't show. It didn't show a price here in the search, which is kind of
$15.
Yeah, I see it when I scroll down now. But normally in the search it should show the price as well. But yeah, that's I think I still have a key somewhere for that, I think.
And God of War also another abandoned early access game that he started.
It also doesn't say a release date. Wait, let me see, because I'm not logged in there. Goddess, what does it say here on Steam? No, it doesn't say anything more on regular Steam either.
Nothing.
Is currently in active cross-platform development.
Since 2014.
Yeah. 2013. Oh, okay. Well, Star Citizen is in development since 2011 or so doesn't mean much. But no, he had...
Godus at least was released. In early access state, but released.
Yeah, and they kind of want to... Oh! Yeah, okay, shit. So I cannot even check... That's so weird. I mean, Lionhead is gone. They're closed for a long time now. The last game that they made was Fable Legends, I think. But I want to see the...
I think Fable 3. But yeah, might be
no,
Fable
Legends was... I was in the closed beta, but I had no time to play it, and then they shut it down. So it didn't get out of closed beta. They cancelled it in development. So...
yeah, 2016.
And it was a Windows Store game.
Yeah, okay. I thought that they basically closed after Molyneux left.
Yeah, they shut that down, but it's kind of weird that I cannot search for Lionhead Studios as a developer and see their other games. What was that other
game? It's not only with Lionhead that way.
Yeah, I know. That's games that are published by Square Enix, even if the developer still exists, they might have been acquired by Square Enix, and then it also and Lionhead Studios was merged with Xbox Game Studios, as far as I know. So you end up on the publisher page or whoever owns that studio now. I don't know what the other name was, but it was a pretty nice game. It had really nice animations and everything, and you basically had to terraform the land, and it had to do a lot with water. Water simulation was also pretty nice. So you had to build bridges out of sand, basically, to make people walk over there and start a settlement and then pray to you. You were basically like a floating hand. And I think it was the game after Black and White.
Yeah, I don't remember. It looks like I haven't seen it.
I really don't. I cannot come up with the name. But yeah, it's one of those dudes. A lot of talk, and he made a game for phones where you had to
digging one.
Yeah, you had to dig the single blocks, and whoever got the last block won a life-changing prize. The last time I heard about it, he's still waiting for his money, and he was supposed to be part of a game that was developed with his voice, I think, and some stuff like that. That's not bad for a game nerd or, I don't know, game fan. But yeah, basically it was and Molyneux.
Well, it's Peter Molyneux. Like we expect anything different from him.
He made a shit ton of money, I think, because there's something called Sandbox. Something not even released, but you can buy games in that virtual world. You can buy land mass there, basically.
Oh, I get what you're talking about.
Where you buy a plot of land for like $12,000 and stuff, and if you have more plots, you can place a logo on it. So if you check out the Sandbox, you will see Snoop Dogg somewhere. He has his plot is like $500,000 or so. It's not. There's nothing. I don't think there's anything that you can even play there, and that was. It started a few years ago already, and
it's basically like buying the land on the moon.
No, it's a bit like Second Life. That's kinda like Second Life, where you can
still have the same value as Moonland or Marsland.
It's also based around blockchain and NFTs, which kinda died at this point.
Yeah, I saw the video.
So
American tax system also want to get $22 billion from crypto markets.
Yeah, good luck.
Yeah, so basically crypto for America might die as well. It died for China, it might die for America.
Yeah, who knows what happens with all that shit. But I think crypto might not be humanity's problem in like 10 or 15 years from now.
Yes, but in financial crisis problem, because it's imaginary money that demand actual payment.
Yeah, well, they have prognoses about 2040 that the world economy will break down. So, and that was a study they did in the 70s. And they confirmed it last year or so. It didn't change. It is still 2040. Where in the 70s when they did it, well, we were half as many people, less than half, I think. And they still did good good calculations and stuff, and they just basically confirmed it like 50 years later. And that's scary shit. Because if they, well, normally we would have expected, hey, we have better data now. No, it's later. But no, it's the exact fucking same time that they already said in the 70s. So we're fucked. We're also fucked. This, I'm not sure if humanity will be still here in 2060. At least not that many.
Humanity will be here.
Yeah,
That is no doubt.
Will be still around, but I don't think that we will be that many people. Or
Nah,
way too many. And we have wars everywhere.
we still be in big number, and its neighbor only will go bigger, no matter how USA will try.
Food will be really a problem.
Not really.
Oh yes,
It's
sure.
not that big of a problem. Basically, 1/3 of the all food produced thrown away.
Yeah, but those who, well, it will be a problem. We cannot.
It is a problem because of the current system, but it's not like a problem at all.
No, it will be a problem because of the fact that crops will not grow as they should. Here, for example, we have way too much rain here in Germany. Way too much. All the farmers, they're pissed because it's way too much. They cannot go on the fields with a tractor because it's just mud. They would just, well, they would just destroy everything. It's way too wet. And in Spain they had absolutely no rain and over 30 degrees already last month or so. Way too hot. So the problem will be we need crops and stuff like that to feed animals, so we can use them as our food. But if we cannot, well, feed them, there is no animal that we can eat. And even
That's
if we
why
all
we
go
need agriculture.
Yeah, but that's it.
You know, I'm going to tell you one thing.
In a lot of areas it
There
will
is-
not be possible anymore. That's the problem.
That's possible. That's more than possible. We had a TV news report not so long ago. It was like one of the most popular potato type is dying. One that used for chips, for fries, and we can't do anything to stop it extinguish. The news reporter came to agricultural lab and they asked, "What are those eggheads gonna do with it?" They're like, "We have like 50 different types of potato that we already made specifically for that scenario, and we made specifically potato for fries. So yeah, it's not a problem. All you need to do is start planting this we made and not stuff that dying."
Yeah, but you cannot produce everything inside. And outside, deserts will get more and more. And landmass will get less and less.
Yeah.
That's the problem. We have some areas where life is basically impossible. And it will get more over the next few years. And also the statistics or the calculations that say that we should not reach more than 1.5 degrees of worldwide temperature. We will reach that in the next few years. And we will not just reach it, we will pass it. And the moment we get over 1.5 degrees Celsius, it's just getting worse. And like I said, in a few months ago, or 1 month or so ago, in Spain, they had 34 degrees Celsius, where they normally have half as much. And that's not getting lower. And then I saw a video that was relatively new from a glacier breaking down. Holy shit, that noise! And they were kind of far away, but at the end, when the whole iceberg, where it was a glacier, but yeah, it was uh, on the sea, and they everybody who watched and commented that video was like, "Hey, where's the end of it, dude? If 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 a block of ice that is as big as a fucking town falls into water that is standing, it gives a fucking tsunami." So they were just fleeing from the wave. So you see that the camera goes down, and afterwards they show ice everywhere, ice blocks, and a few bits of the big part. It was like an arch basically, and it started to crumble in the bright sun. And seriously, the noise that made, and they were a few hundred meters away, I think. It's hard to even say how far they were away, because the distances. I saw a video where you see a glacier that broke. It broke off. A really big part broke off, and it turned around, and they were really far away, and you couldn't really tell how much that is. Yeah, and then they said, "Hey, that was a mass that was as big as fucking Manhattan." a block of glacier, and it turned around. When it broke off, it turned itself around. So it's basically you threw Manhattan Island into the ocean and turned it around a few times. Holy shit, that noise. And they have it on camera. They have been waiting for like a week or two for that to happen. And then they're talking to their boss basically from the documentary. And they're like, yeah, I think we wait maybe 2 more hours or so, but then we can pack together. We're here for way too long. Nothing is happening. And then you hear a cracking noise in the distance. I don't know how loud it would have been next to you, but I think you might have gotten a tinnitus for a few weeks for that noise. It was so insanely loud, and they had the whole kelbing, is what we say in German, when a glacier and the iceberg breaks off. Holy shit, insane. Yeah, and basically, if that ice, well, that ice alone got the ocean higher by half a centimeter or so. It's crazy. It's just, and if all the freaking ice is gone, I don't know what happens to stuff like the Netherlands, which is basically flat, or Venice, for example. They already have issues, and yeah, and they have flooding in the Mediterranean Sea. So people died in Italy. The climate is changing, and yeah, it wants us dead. So I don't know. In the past I was like, yeah, I want to get really old and yeah, future and stuff. But the older I get, I'm like, holy fuck, will we even get that far? 40 years from now, I will be 88. So I don't. I'm not looking forward to that, to be honest. I've seen glaciers die in my lifetime. That's not okay. That's what happens over hundreds of years, not in like 20 years. So it's not good. It's not good. But anyway, we went completely off topic now. But I guess we can kind of end it on that bright and cheerful note.
I still have one thing to say about, well, something to say about God of War.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Well, remember this controversy, like, you can read the whole ad day. You won't see that giants weren't blacks. Therefore, I can make my giants black if I want to.
Not really.
So yeah, that happened.
Okay.
I played God of War 1 and I got to legend that I know from ancient Germanic mythology, and let's just say that those people who claims that they read Edda and they for sure that whatever they put in God of War not contradicting Edda. But so they basically made giants into some sort of holy, well, no, not holy, but suffering people who got exiled from well, let's just say play field from the hub where all different gods and humans could meet. They were like exiled from that place because some Odin may or may not be some sort of Hitler or whatnot. Decided to kill them all for whatever reason. They gave the reason, but that reason was so unimpressive that I did not remember it. So whatever reason is all right for description of that reason. And they were like, hey, do you remember that stuff that you can go to some big wooden shit and it's like telling you an ancient Scandinavian story or whatnot?
In the are we talking about the new God of War?
No,
new.
Original God of War.
The original from the PlayStation?
Yeah,
That,
2018.
That's the thing. I hate that so much. Okay, okay, yeah. I'm not sure, but I just
same thing with Doom. I should say 2016 when I'm talking about Doom made by published by Bethesda.
Yeah.
But when I'm talking about original Doom, I should specify that this is original Doom.
Yeah, and God of War, I played the original God of War, which has nothing to do at all with the newer ones, and I'm pissed.
Yeah.
Because that's not my
Mortal Kombat 1?
That's not my Kratos. Yeah, exactly. I really want to get pissed about them now. Because seriously, they actually even use the same freaking or similar ones that they used in Mortal Kombat 11. People were like, where's Mortal Kombat 12? This is kinda a remake of the original, when I understand that.
They already rebooted the series with Mortal Kombat 9. Why the fuck they making remake of Mortal Kombat 1?
I don't know. I don't get it. I don't understand it. I just saw a video. I think Shade liked a video of that or so, and I was like, wait a second. Why is that one? What? $70. Premium 95 comes out in September. But seriously,
it's ain't better. The game costing $80. It's slightly better, but it still ain't better.
But seriously, where's the problem? If I mean, if you already have, I don't know, 11 parts, same with Hitman or some other games that kinda had a reboot.
Yeah.
Why?
For me, Hitman 1 it's Codename 47.
Yeah.
Hitman 2 is Silent Assassin, and Hitman 3 it's Contracts.
Yeah, and then you have the new Hitman 1, 2, 3. Why? They just call it 8, 9, 10, or I don't know, add a sub name to it or something.
Yeah.
I don't fucking care. I mean, if you watch a movie, Fast and Furious, they always number. They use it in a different way, maybe, but you know which fucking number that is. And if Fast and Furious 50 comes out, it's gonna be called 50. And
Let's
not.
hope it stayed this way.
Yeah, no, they will do 3 more. But yeah,
well, I mean, with naming, and they won't be like on the last movie in the franchise, Fast and Furious.
Yeah, back to the Fast and Furious or some bullshit like
Yeah.
that. It's just I hate that so much. And with this, oh my god, Mortal Kombat 1. Why? I mean, the original Mortal Kombat is like 30 years old or something like that.
Yeah.
There is no way and no point in remaking or remaster. It is a completely different game. And one guy.
Again, they rebooted it in Mortal Kombat 9.
Wait, I saw one post in the forum, and one guy was like, "Hey, yeah, I like Mortal Kombat," blah, blah, blah. And then he was like, "But does there need to be that much gore in it? I mean, I played the original, or I played Mortal Kombat since the original, and I liked it, and blah, blah, but I want to play it with my kids." Wait, okay, wait, dude. A game that is purely based on over-the-top gore and violence and blood all over the place, which is basically.
If you wanna play it with your kids, play original with your kids.
Either that, or like others said, play Mario Smash or something. That game is 18, dude. And you cannot compare a game from today, which has photorealistic fucking graphics and blood splatter that looks like it's real blood, with pixelated bullshit in 320 by 200 resolution. Which, if you look at it now, it's like, ha 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 ha, yeah, they filmed those characters and then it makes no. And I was like, hey, dude, seriously? So, you as one person, because nobody on the planet will ever ask that question, oh, can I have less gore in that game? Dude, seriously? That's like watching a porn and saying, oh, can I have less sex in it? I want more story and more talk, please.
Yeah. Can I have more storytelling in this?
Yeah. Can we not maybe have flowers in this game, or I mean, come on, dude, seriously? It's like
original game 1992.
Yeah, see? Good. 31 years. Holy shit, yeah, I know my shit. I said 30. Well, was good enough. Damn, I'm good with that old shit. Can I make money from that somehow?
Mortal Kombat 2 is 1993, so yeah, Mortal Kombat 2 is 30 years old.
Yeah, we played it in the arcades back then. And I think the first time I played Mortal Kombat was actually in an arcade machine.
Mortal Kombat 2 is old as I am.
Yeah, well, I was already 17 when Mortal Kombat 1 came out, so I wasn't really a child. When I was a child or teenager, we played Super Street Fighter. So, yeah, if you want to play a brawler, play Street Fighter. Take any of the Street Fighter. There's no blood in Street Fighter as far as I remember.
Street Fighter, Tekken.
No. Tekken does have some brutality in it.
It has brutality, it doesn't have blood.
Yeah, okay, yeah, that's true. But
it also don't have those X-rays, and violence is over-the-top cartoon. Yeah, it's still for teens, but it's not. It's basically the same age category as Street Fighter.
Yeah, but people don't realize that the games that they played when they were younger, you cannot compare that with the games from today. It's a whole different story. If I had a kid, well, back in the day, yeah, well, I did play every game that I could get my hands on. My parents didn't even know what I played. And I played Doom and whatnot and gory stuff, even brutal and gory stuff on the C64. There was one game I don't remember the name of the game. I wanted to play that game so badly, but I don't find anything about it. So not even pictures or anything. And without a name, it's hard. It was basically a house where you got into the house at the bottom and you had to leave at the top, something like that. And there were shit ton of traps in there, and you needed to get to a switch to get an apple from. Weird. But the death animations for the Commodore 64 were freaking insane. I died just to see all those animations because they were hilarious. Like, you could get on a conveyor belt, but you couldn't get down anymore. And you saw the spikes at the end. And there was nothing you could do. You could try and run. Yeah, you got maybe one pixel to the right and two to the left. So you no matter what you did, you ended up on those spikes. So you had to be careful where you jump, where you walk, and you had one life. So if you stepped on it, you had to do all the shit again. And you had electrocution, fire, and it looked insanely good. Commodore 64 was bullshit, but it was fucking brutal. And today it's a different story. If you have a game like, I don't know, Doom or whatever, Dying Light, and brains and eyes fly into your direction and they look like freaking brains and eyes, it's too much for freaking children. You cannot compare it with the Doom from back in the day. I just saw pictures of it. I mean, come on. You needed still fantasy.
You should not show children stuff like Brutal Doom. Yes, it's still pixelated, but it's much more gorier than original Doom.
Yeah, true, but it's also so over the top that it's not realistic at all. I mean, Dying Light is also not realistic. It's all over the top with all the blood and everything. But this is not for children. I mean,
yeah, that's for sure. Those games specifically not for children.
Same like GTA 5, for example. You cannot compare GTA 5 to GTA Vice City, for example.
Yeah.
That's also not a game for kids, because apparently in one country at least, kids tend to do what they see in games, and then they're surprised that, oh, somebody dies when I hit them with a freaking axe. What a surprise. But yeah.
Novel concept, not like I've seen it in the same video game.
Yeah, and then parents are like, yeah, my kid plays GTA 5. And that in one sentence is already wrong. That is not a game for children. It's freaking 18 plus. You have to be an adult. If your kid is 14 and knows shit, okay, maybe. If it's raised well and everything, maybe, but maybe not.
Basically, not all of the kids don't
they're not on the same
don't
level.
have the difference between fiction and reality.
Yeah, I knew that when I was.
That's one of the things why cartoon works for children, and they treat them as reality.
You know Itchy and Scratchy from Simpsons, right?
Yeah.
Super brutal and all over the top. We grew up.
I know Happy Tree Friends.
Yeah, well, that was not meant for children, but yeah, that's extremely over the top. I love it. Happy Tree Friends. Anyway, but I grew up with freaking Tom and Jerry and stuff like that.
Same.
I never even considered hitting a friend with a freaking steel pan into his face to see if his face will be in the pan. But there are kids who are stupid enough who would try that today. Back in the day, hey, it was all fun. Roadrunner and the coyote. How often did that fucking coyote die? Like, drop down somewhere, explode, whatever. I mean, pretty much every comic character dies in horrible ways.
Yeah, good old slapstick humor.
Yeah, but it didn't make us murderers or idiots. But today, I don't know what's wrong with kids. It's seriously, it's.
I think problem not just with kids, but with parents and their lack of supervision, or at least some kind of
And
Racing process.
I personally would forbid by law with really, really hard jail sentences for the parents that children don't have to possess smartphones with internet access before they turn 12 or so. Kids don't need a fucking smartphone. When I was selling
Specifically, they don't need iPhone 14 Pro.
shit like that,
Max.
when I was still working for Nintendo, and well, I had to do a lot with smaller children, obviously, because Nintendo is a kids company. Mostly, they do have adult games, but it's mostly still the only console company where you basically can buy a game blind and you know it's okay for family and for kids. And then there was a father. Yeah, it depends. I mean, you have, like I said, 18 plus games as well, but only since the Wii. Before that, there was no gore.
Yeah,
or so.
okay.
Since the Wii and 3D and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have Call of Duty, Far Cry, zombie bullshit and whatnot. I have all the games from the Wii from the first year. Every single one. And one father, I don't know how we came up with that, but oh yeah, my kid plays with an iPad at home. And I was like, how old is your kid? That's 5. I wanted to punch that dude so hard in that moment.
Yeah. And then parents surprised how they lost all of their money from bank accounts.
Yeah, that and the iPad broke. Yeah, no shit. It's a 5-year-old kid, you moron. There's a reason why there are tablets for children. They have a padded side. You can drop them on the floor. Nothing happens. They're locked. There's Net Nanny on it and shit like that, where you prevent what your kid sees. You don't even have to know anything about it. You start a children's tablet, and it tells you as a parent this, that. Okay, not allowed porn, sex, la la la. iPad is open. It's just open. If you don't install this shit, it's not on it. And parents are like, yeah, here, watch Netflix on the iPad or so. Yeah, but
Netflix, pretty safe choice for kids.
Well, you can set up Netflix for children, so you can make an account.
If a person bothered to do that.
That's the thing. You have to yeah, well, take care of it. My parents at one point, well, I had a lot of me time, but since I never did anything bad, there was no reason to see why am I behaving like this. I mean, my parents raised me well. If they would have raised me a bit differently, I might have less money problems because I would be an asshole who would just cheat people of their money and whatnot. But no, I was raised as a good person, and I knew since I was 6 that movies and what you see there is fake and not reality. So that's also a reason why horror movies really don't bother me. I know it's fake. So if I see something real, somebody has an accident and his head is chopped off or something, yeah, that's more scary because that shit can happen to me as well, you know? But freaking horror movie with zombies and bullshit like that, hey, I watch that movie and fall asleep. I don't even bother. My brain is like, it's a fairy tale. It's like, for me personally, it doesn't matter if I see Winnie the Pooh or freaking, I don't know, The Living Dead. It's both fantasy. So I don't
Yeah,
freaking care.
I get what you're talking about.
So, but it's, and my parents didn't know. I told them a few years ago. They were like, "What?" And I was like, yeah, I watched it. I don't know. I was like 6, 7, or 8 or so, and by accident I could see the channel from Switzerland. Back in the day, we only had 3 channels when I grew up, and another one was from Switzerland, and the other one was from Austria. So we basically had 5 channels that we could watch here in South.
When I was growing up, we had whole 4 channels. One of them worked badly.
Yeah, so and then I saw, I don't know, I was in bed. I had my own small TV in my room, and mostly to play the Commodore 64 or so. And I watched a horror movie, and I mean, I knew it was a movie, so yeah, maybe I was scared when I saw a monster or whatever, but seriously, I didn't. I slept well, and ever since I'm kind of bored with horror movies. I mean, yeah, I like to watch them and all, but nah, reality is scarier than any movie. So
Yeah.
somebody mocked me a little bit with an English-German accent, and he was like, "I'm not scared of anything. I'm just scared of life," stuff like that. I mean, yeah, hey, I can just walk out of the freaking door and I don't know, stumble over my own feet and break my neck, and it's over. You know, I do a lot of shit that can kill me with sports and whatnot. So yeah, that's scary
Yeah.
when I know what can happen in certain situations. But movies, nah. Same for games. When I read some reviews, shit your pants simulator and whatnot. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I get surprised by jump scares, but I don't piss my pants. VR is a whole different story. If you have a zombie right here in your face, it's a whole different story, immersion-wise. Because, well, that shit is right in your fucking face.
Yeah, and your brain basically could not connect. Wait a second.
Yeah, I mean,
what just happening?
and it's so funny when you see videos when people are scared and they try to run away. You cannot run away in reality from something you see in VR because
Yeah, and if you will still try to run away, that thing will still be in front of your face.
If you have actual room size VR where a step is a step in the game as well, then you can run away. That's maybe the problem. If you have locked system where you stand there and you shoot at waves, like Baron and I did in Propagation, for example, which is a free game. A co-op part costs money, but holy shit! I mean, they come in your direction, and the thing that annoyed us the most, or which was the most scary part in the game, huge fucking spiders. They were jumping at us, and we were like, ah! It was hilarious, really funny. But I would never run away. It's pointless. Just take off the fucking headset. Why would I run away if it's too much? Just take it off. I mean, people destroyed headsets.
Brain said on person running.
I mean, there's something. Wait, plank experience or something. Richie's plank experience. It's basically you're basically on a skyscraper on a fucking plank, and you can really play that on a plank in your living room. You measure that and everything, and that's what you see in the game. The exact same shit. So when you walk on the plank on your floor, you walk on the plank in the game. And I've seen people, seriously, they were jumping like this from the plank because they thought they jump in the game. Holy shit, they jumped into the wall head first or just body slammed. I saw an older woman, like 70 years. She was like, fuck it, I'm gonna jump. And she was jumping. I mean, and what? I saw another video. We should maybe do a stream where we just react on shit like that. Watching fails in VR or something. One kid was playing and his sister or something was standing next to him. I still don't know why. I mean, that dude with the headset doesn't know there is a person. And I think he was playing Creed or so, the boxing simulator. And he was BOW! And hit his sister in so bad in the face with a fucking controller. I mean, there's a plastic ring around. Your hand doesn't hurt, but holy shit, wherever you hit, that hurts. Bam! Like this, you know. It's a really nice uppercut, you know. Bam! And she was like, oh! Yeah, but don't blame him. I mean, you were standing next to him. It's your fucking fault. Or when people punch a TV or so. I know somebody who actually destroyed his TV. Exactly.
And
like
that's actually the problem since Nintendo Wii.
Yeah, I mean, there's a reason why there's that leash also for VR controllers, because you could, well, normally you shouldn't let them go because you hold them in your hand, but same for the Wii. The one thing that, the first thing that I said when I sold the Wii back then, this is there for a reason. If you use it right, you can do this. And I had controllers here, and I let them go. I was throwing them at the TV. After a while, I think they had stronger leashes, because some actually, if you were really too strong, they could actually break. So I was lucky. It wouldn't have been my TV anyway. It was Nintendo's TV. So, but yeah, that was the first thing that I told them. Make sure that leash is on. It is there for a reason. You will let it go eventually, because, well, you get slippery hands or whatever, and you play tennis or whatnot. And yeah, the leash is there for a reason. We are the same. On snowboards back in the day, yeah, there was also a reason, because if you don't have a leash and you put your snowboard on the snow with the regular side, like a friend did, well, it does one thing. Hey, gravity! And it's just gone. Ski, they have a brake on the side that goes down when you go out of the ski. That's not there for a snowboard. And I saw his snowboard go down, went past people waiting at the lift, went into the lift, bounced away from that, went under one of those fences that normally protect you, that you don't go over. So it went under that, and I was riding down trying to get it, and then it went down on the side over a road, hit something, turned around, went back over that road because it was like 17s, and it went under 3 parked cars or so and stopped at a house. It was like 100 meters down there, and I was like, hey, it's down there, you can get it yourself. After that, he never ever unleashed his snowboard. Yeah, if you have a leash, and back then, well, they were mandatory. Without a leash, you were not allowed to get into a lift because of that reason. If you drop or anything and your snowboard goes flying, it can hit somebody and really hurt people. So yeah. Anyway, yeah, Richie's playing experience. I might buy that at one point, and when I get a Quest and go to my parents for VR, I might do this. But I have to explain them before what they need to do if it gets too much or something. Don't jump. It's not real. But you have to think about it. Why would people jump there? I mean, would you jump?
Fly?
Yeah, but in reality, would you jump from a skyscraper?
Am I sick or what?
But yeah, it's hilarious, and I hate height. I don't have a real fear of heights, but I really don't like heights. If I have nothing around me or so, and I worked on like 8th floor skyscraper, putting pigeon spikes on the edge with no fence, no nothing. I hate that. I really hate that. Bungee jumping, I didn't wait until he was done counting. I was already on the way. Yeah, so height for an adrenaline junkie is not good. If you don't have a freaking parachute or a rope, not good. Anyway,
Yeah, God of War 2018. So I was talking about giants and how they basically build like some nation who was exiled and was persecuted without reason. So I talked about those wooden tablets that were talking small stories like, hey, this tour and what he did was so amazing that it was super amazing. He's the only good god in all of Asgard. Why? Because we said so. So, I have a feeling that they lying about ending at the end whatnot. Because there was a story that I'm familiar with. And that story gone like, yeah, that dude was a giant. He was like the greatest. He was the kindest person alive and whatever. I was hearing that. Mate, are you pissing me or what? I know the character you're talking about. And that character basically Viking, Skald, Poet, Rapist, Killer, and Odin worshipper. And the most important, he was a human. He wasn't a giant like he was presented in that game. He was a human. Starcad. Man who lived 300 years.
yeah, but
He was a man.
it's a
Specifically,
game.
he wasn't a giant.
It's a game.
Yes, but they claimed that they followed Edda. And because people had a lot of problems with them just rewriting the stories, and they claimed that nah, we read Edda, we didn't do anything that was contradicting it. But no, even since game 1, they did a lot of contradictions. And the Starkad story is just the story that I know. I don't know about others character that they names, but I have a feeling that most of them ain't giants.
Well,
Also,
it's inspired by mythology.
no, yes, it's inspired, but they said that it's not contradicted. Second, that head that we having with Kratos, it said that it's one of the ones. Um, in game, it's presented like ones always have problems with aces, and like aces never got into peace with ones beside the point when Frey became the Odin's wife. So
That
that head that we have with in our possession. Yes, in mythology, it also decapitating talking head, but it was revived by Odin. It was revived by Odin because it's Odin's friend. It wasn't punished by Odin to be left in the tree forever. It wasn't punished by Odin to stay at one place. Odin resurrected him because he is all knowing. He was a friend of Odin.
question
And yeah,
is Kratos based on a character that was in mythology somewhere, or is Kratos also is that a fantasy character, or is that actually was Kratos a thing in mythology as a person, like
uh,
Hercules, for example? Or is Kratos a pure imaginary person?
As far as I know, Kratos is a pure imaginary person, but that's not the point. Point is, they claimed one thing, and they continue to claim that they do everything like it's in Edda, while they putting Edda and basically like, yeah, we just took this as inspiration. If they were like, yeah, we're just inspired by Edda, and not like we're not contradicting Edda, I wouldn't have problems with it. But they basically took already written mythology, already written characters, and said that they know better. They know better that written in the same mythology.
Didn't the original Kratos, wasn't the original Kratos more based around Greek mythology?
Yes, Kratos
Right?
from Greek mythology, and they also mentioning in this game as well that Kratos from Greek.
Yeah, so it's all
What
inspired by that.
what one of the plot twists of this game? One of the plot twists of the game that Kratos' son is a god.
Yeah,
Kratos' god, his son is a god, and it's a plot twist.
kind of obvious, isn't it?
Yeah, it's obvious for players. It's obvious for even new players who heard more than once that Kratos is a god in the same game. But this is a plot twist.
Yeah, okay. Okay, I guess.
Yeah, I also had the same reaction. Ah.
It's just like, yeah, tell me something new. Okay, oh, actually, no, actually, it is, Kratos is based on Greek mythology. All right.
Yeah, I told you that it's based on Greek mythology, but I
Pallas,
didn't know that based on actual character from the mythology.
yeah, it actually is. Yeah, his parents were Pallas and Styx. So yeah, that's also based on mythology.
And
Interesting.
when it comes to
Is
original God of Wars, they didn't claim that they doing it like in the freaking Greek mythology.
yeah, but
They all said that they inspired by Greek mythology.
they kinda they kinda do. Kratos is the divine personification of strength. So is first mentioned alongside his siblings in Hesiod's Theogony. La 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 la,
Nike, Bia, Zeus.
Yeah, it has to do with Prometheus and stuff. Kratos is characterized as brutal and merciless, repeatedly mocking both Hephaestus and Prometheus and advocating for the use of unnecessary violence. Okay, yeah, that's a good starting point for a game like that.
Yeah, and basically we can see that Kratos in original games advocating for needless brutality and doing everything brute force.
Yeah, this is still not my. This is not my Kratos. Fuck, seriously, that's I don't know. It's Kratos for me personally. I mean, yeah, I get it. Sure, somebody like that might have a wife, might have children. But I played a Kratos. Well, okay, it was a different time. Men were hardcore and women were not on the same level yet, and that changed over the last few years or decades. That's okay. totally understand that, but I don't know. I want Kratos to be an asshole, you know? An asshole.
Yeah, Kratos should be an asshole.
If he wants to have sex with 3 women, he did on the PlayStation. He actually did. There was a scene. So, he wanted to have fun, he did it. So, that's what I want to play. I want to play a dude that I will never be. Bigger than me, stronger than me, more asshole like me. I mean, if I want to play a father with a kid trying to survive in the wilderness, I would play something like Last of Us or so. I want to kill stuff with a shit ton of weapons. You get 1.
And second, way past the midpoint of the game.
Yeah, and the other stuff that you can use for a short time or so, but that's just bullshit. And for me personally, the one thing that a God of War game needs and has to start with are dual weapons and fucking chain knives, chain daggers, chain axes, chain I don't know what. Anything on a chain that I can swing around and
basically his defining characteristic.
Yeah, I mean it's like asking, let's say, Mortal Kombat to remove all its violence and gore. That's what happened. This is a I don't know, a toned down Kratos. I mean, he's still brutal.
Saying
and
that it's toned down, it's really understatement. I played this game from start to finish. Story is weak. There is nothing good or well, there are some good points. I can give it that, but they are heavily directed, and they are basically whenever Kratos acting like Kratos. And not like that I'm a lonely father that should somehow take care of my kid that I don't know. I'm too brutal to take care of him. Oh, gods.
This is my Kratos. This is Kratos. This here. Oh, it doesn't show. Oh, for fuck's sake. This is my Kratos. For fuck's sake. And that's the one thing. Wait, was God of War 3 was PlayStation 4, right? Yeah, PlayStation 4.
It was
3 and 4. Okay, you're cutting off there right now.
Okay, it was.
Okay, you're back. That's the one game I would buy a PS4. Well, I will at one point get a PS3 and a PS4. But this would be one of the games that I really want to play.
I think PlayStation 4 had God of War collections from 1 to 3.
Ah, it had the remastered from the 3 on the 4. Okay. But that was the last, I think that was the last original styled God of War.
Yeah, after that it basically gap till God of War 2018.
So this is the one I want to play. I played the first, I played the second. This I didn't play. So yeah.
Yeah, and it's pretty cheap.
Yeah, but I don't have a PlayStation.
Yeah, that's the problem.
The one thing that got really, really close to being a God of War. It was Marlowe. 99 cents? Okay, if anybody of you misses the original God of War, get this game. Oh wait, that's the wrong... I was on Steam here on my end. Then I realized, oh, wait a second, it doesn't show. This is the closest you can get to a original God of War game. Because guess what? you have dual weapons on chains. And it's actually a really, really fun game. It's 10 years old, but it still works. I mean, I should play it again. I think I didn't finish it. But this is basically, it feels a lot like the original God of War. From all the
And
attacks.
if you want a good beat 'em up, well, not beat 'em up, but that style of game, play Devil May Cry 5. That's basically a peak of slashers right now.
I'm still looking into it, but I don't want to pay that much. And the one thing that kinda pushes me away from it is that stupid motorcycle that you can use as a weapon. That's so off-putting.
You can just put it out of your inventory.
Yeah, okay, but just the fact. I know, over the top Japanese stuff and give 3 meter huge 500 kilogram swords, no problem, and stuff, but I don't know, it's just so over the top.
Yeah, that's the thing.
And yeah, I don't know.
That's what people missed in the DMC Devil May Cry.
I like that actually, but I also didn't see DMC 3 as well. I saw it as its own game, kinda like a reboot, because everybody was like, that's not my Dante. Yeah, okay, yeah.
I'm one of those people.
Yeah, he looked different. Okay, I get it. Yeah.
Not only look different, but yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. Do you have that game this year?
This? No.
No? You want it? It's a really good game. I
get it.
I can gift it to you if you want to. It's only 99 cents.
I might buy it myself.
Yeah, it might just cost 10 cents for you when it's on 80% sale. Yeah.
How much?
Let me know.
No.
Do they pay you if you want to get that game now because it's so cheap for you, or?
That's definitely not 99 cents.
Yeah, how much is it?
31 cents.
31? Fuck you. Yeah, definitely worth 31. I would say even 32 cents would be fine. No, seriously, that game is really, really good. I played it a year after it came out. I think it was in a bundle or so. I think I didn't finish it though. Do you have some platforming and stuff as well that you have to time really well, and that was really shit there. But I played it for 6 hours and it was definitely a fun game. It does have some similarities, or it feels a little bit like a combination of Shadow Man meets God of War.
Shadow Man is a bit traumatizing for me. I played it on PlayStation with bad Russian translation, so yeah,
really,
it was traumatizing. Shadow Man not a really good game, and it's what already in it worse.
Well, it's not a bad game, really. I mean,
I'm not saying that it's bad. I'm saying that it's not as good.
It was definitely different for its time, because you had two different hands and weapons, which was kind of new. The setting is absolutely completely new. There's barely a game that is in that setting. The remastered is pretty good. I might actually replay that. I have that somewhere as well. Wait, I have that somewhere as well. I have that original.
Soul River was in physical and astral dimension as well.
Yeah, that's also a game that's a game series that might actually be nice as a remaster.
Oh yeah, specifically with the first game in Copyright Oblivion.
Yeah, there are few games that really would be good for remasters after like those 20 years or something. some other games that they remastered after like 10 years or so, I don't get, because the games that came out after 2005 or 2010, all the games afterwards, they aged really, really well. But the games from around the 2000s and before, yeah, they you cannot you can play them only for nostalgic reasons if you already played them. But if you're new to those games, yeah, you might not enjoy them too much. But remasters for some games would be really, really good. Shadow Man, for example, with a bit optimized gameplay in Unreal Engine with all the voodoo settings and everything, that would be really cool. The voice acting in English and German was pretty good, actually. And you had the Jamaica accent and stuff. Yeah, it was pretty nice. Or Dominican stuff. Anyway, it's getting really late for you, right?
Yeah. Well, basically, when you said 10 years in between release and remaster, we should not forget about The Last of Us. PlayStation 3 2013, PlayStation 4 2014.
Well, that's porting it and remastering on the next console generation is a bit...
It was called remaster.
Yeah, it is. God of War is also remaster from 3 to 4 because, well, you need to remaster it to make it look better on the newer generation. So that's okay. But a game like, for example, Need for Speed Payback was remastered a few years ago, and that was not even 10 years old, I think. And the funny part is...
Need for Speed Payback was remastered?
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah, I don't know.
Didn't remaster
that's the thing.
Of Most Wanted, that horrible remaster that basically killed the franchise for several years, didn't teach EA anything?
The biggest problem is a remaster, okay, but then also remastered to this generation of cars. They remastered it and there are only the cars from the original in there. I think you might be able to buy the DLC or whatnot, I guess, but the base game is exactly the same game that you already had, or that was already out. It looks better. Yeah, sure, it looks better, obviously. But why? It makes no sense. So yeah,
I have no idea.
They have the chance to do that, and then they don't update it really, because the cars that you see there, I think in the trailer, some are from the DLCs. So yeah, nah. And the original Most Wanted was one of the, if not the best Need for Speed game that they had. That was such a fun game with the destruction and the look and the chases with the police through the city and everything. Absolutely
and
awesome.
Carbon was on the different end of the spectrum.
Carbon was also still not too bad. I actually enjoyed it.
It wasn't bad, but it wasn't on the same level as Most Wanted.
Didn't Carbon come out before that?
No, I think it came after that. And after that, Need for Speed Undercover.
You cannot get it anymore. Unbound might be pretty shit. Yeah, mixed. I don't know. It's
again one of those series that EA just milked too much.
Yeah, pretty much. One game that they could maybe release a new version again. I can see it from here. Test Drive Unlimited. That was
wait, it's not EA.
Which one?
Test Drive.
Test Drive. No, Test Drive was. Guess. An old school company. Guess.
Are they still around?
Atari. published by Atari.
Ah,
You see, I see the logo, the Atari logo from here. I didn't know where to look, but you can see it, the stripe and the A basically. Test Drive was the very first car racing game that I ever played on a computer in CGA graphics. So you had white, magenta, cyan, and black, I think. So it was awful.
well, shit. Both of those companies that made Test Drive Unlimited are closed.
Which one was Unlimited? Was the that was the street? No, not the street racing. That was the racing. The really racing?
That was one on sort of street racing.
Yeah, it's definitely not
Either
on Steam.
semi-official or official competition on some sort of island or whatnot.
Do I have that? Ah, no, okay, I thought that was Unleashed. I got that. I got that mixed with Unleashed. Shift and Unleashed were the race series kinda games.
And now we have only Dirt and
Oh,
with mixed successes.
wait a second. Okay,
Project Cars.
sorry, I mixed that up earlier. They remade Hot Pursuit. That's the one that I meant.
Still, why?
Yeah, it makes no sense. The original came out in 2010 and the remaster 10 years later, but like I said, has exactly everything identically the same. I don't even know.
It's not like Hot Pursuit was really that popular.
It was not unpopular. Mostly because of the cop chases.
Yeah, it wasn't, but people still were talking about Underground 2 and Most Wanted at this point.
Yeah, true. Yeah, there is a game, Need for Speed, that's just Need for Speed.
Oh, that the last year one or 2001 one.
No, that's from 2016. Huh? Oh, okay, Ghost Games. Yeah, okay, I remember that. Yeah, that's... I kind of passed that one. I passed a lot after a while because... Yeah, well. But yeah, Hot Pursuit. And Unbound... I don't know. That
Still, why?
Yeah, makes no sense. They should just like they did with Assassin's Creed, with Origins, that they didn't bring it out year after year. No, they had a 2-year break. Then a year later, Odyssey, and it continued again. But I'm looking forward to this year's Assassin's Creed Mirage, because that's going back to the original feel, kinda.
So they basically ditching that unneeded levels.
Well, they go back to the real assassinations, where you had to plan your way, you had to get away from the guards and everything after you did the assassination.
Okay, still leveling bullshit. I got it.
That I don't know, but it's going more in the direction of Assassin's Creed 2 with some parts and some other parts from Origins. So I guess the verticality and climbing stuff and things like that might be from there, but microtransactions, I'm not sure, but I think they don't plan to have those.
I think Ubisoft don't know how to make game without microtransactions anymore.
Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, it's supposed to be like 2 and what was it? Blood. Well, anyway, more like the second and the add-on.
Brotherhood.
Brotherhood, that was it.
Yeah, okay. See.
So I'm looking forward to that, and it plays in the 9th century. So old school, and I think you're in Israel, so?
Yeah, okay.
Anyway, I'm
Again, we'll
interested.
see.
Old school. So yeah. Well, to what do I switch now? Because I'm staying online. I'm streaming a little bit longer. I've done all my shopping early today in the morning already at 8 a.m. Although that was pretty good because I still got tomatoes and everything. So if I go in the afternoon, you might not get stuff because the store is not that big. So yeah, I've done all my shopping. I wanted to stream from early morning already. Some more Dying Light. That didn't happen, so I'm gonna continue with that. I just have to decide what. Well, I'm gonna do the end screen as we always do here. And Lothar is alone here. And does it show it? No? Come on. Come on. End card. Loaded. Thank you. Takes like forever. So yeah, I'm
I
gonna
was learning.
yeah. It's so weird. I don't know why that just with those freaking but it's from Stream Elements, so I don't have it locally, it's through the web, and I guess well, since I'm streaming, it's kind of weird. I don't have those issues on my game PC.
Mm,
Anyway,
that's weird.
famous last words as always.
Fuck Epic.
Yeah, definitely. Even more after I had those discussions in a fucking Steam forum of all places. Alright. Lothar. Oh yeah, Hawken Reborn. Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, I'm not interested. I read a few I read a few reviews and I was like, oh god, fuck that shit. They completely destroyed a game that was so much fun.
You know what? People upset that all people who original are refusing to add one.
Yeah, it has nothing to do with adapting.
Yeah, and the reasons why to see PvP in this because we have pay to win weapons in
Yeah, right.
well, you could also buy weapons in the original, but it basically was like you buying a new type of like BFG knife.
Yeah, so they basically, for those who don't know the original Hawken was a pure deathmatch PvP game basically, and
Yes,
Hawken Reborn it switched to a PvE game basically. So you co-op against the AI or something, and if you want to buy robots,
you even co-op most.
yeah, okay. So you can buy in-game currency. The game is not done. Keep that in mind. But you can still
Get more, but only not even game
yeah.
early alpha stage, like type stage.
You know what? Let's rant the next time about Hawken.
Good. I have a lot to say about it because I played a whole hour of it.
Yeah, I saw you played it, and then I was like, huh? Oh, Hawken is back. Oh, cool. And then I was like, oh, for fuck's sake, what? So
Did it, and I was from the moment I got into maximum different.
well, at least it just got 8.9 gigabytes, so I can install it and just check it out. We should play it maybe the next time and see how shit it is.
Activated. I played.
Oh, there's no co-op. It says single player on the Steam page. What? It's pure single player. Okay. Well,
I basically played 8 missions, and supposed to have access to contract. Basically, gameplay they want people to adopt, and apparently those contracts supposed to be they interact with other players, but I don't know.
Weird. And the thing is, what I read, a new mech costs like 1,200 coins or whatever, and the package that you can buy contains 1,100. So you, yeah. So you have to buy the bigger one, and then you're left with not enough to do shit with it. So the cheapest pack costs 475, but I think you need the 949 to get scrip. Exactly, that's what it says. And you get 2,400 scrip actually. Oh, wait, actually, then it is for the smaller pack. Yeah, for the smaller pack you get 1,100, and for the next one you get 24. So you can basically buy 2 mechs. So it's not that bad when one mech costs 1,200 and you get 2,400. Yeah, you can buy.
It might be that cost getting higher exponentially.
Yeah, but you normally also get more when you buy bigger packs, but 19 euros for 4,900. Yeah, I don't know. It's
not like we can have a rant about.
Yeah, and what's really weird, it's from 505 games. They make good games and publish good games as well. So it's really
For this game specifically generated.
Ah, okay. That's new. I'm not sure about all the AI generated shit. I prefer that somebody took his or her time, scribble it, design it, build it, make it, rig it, put it on. Work. Put on some hours of work. I like to see that. Yeah, exactly. Put some effort in it. If I see effort, hey, all good. But that's not. It's. I don't know. All right. Anyway.
I will.
Yeah, you did. Lotta, you have a good night, a nice rest of your weekend. Thanks again for hanging out. Number 42 already. Holy shit. All right, Lotta, you have a good one. Bye, Lotta.
Yeah, have a good day. Bye.
All right. So, yeah. Oh wait, I can actually this here. Okay, let me actually take off my headset.